Good evening and welcome to St. Joseph, Missouri, home of Phil Welch Stadium, home of your St. Joseph Mustangs. The Mustangs are your 2024 MINK League champions!
Good evening and welcome inside Phil Welch Stadium in St. Joseph, Missouri for a battle of giants here tonight between the top two teams in the MINK as the visiting Clarinda A's come in here to Phil Welch to face off against your St. Joseph Mustangs, donning the Tenderloin persona for the final time this season. The A's come in 26-14, 23-11 in the MINK, and your Mustangs come in 32-8 and 26-7, having already locked up a playoff spot, already locked up the number one seed. So I'm Truman Griesel, alongside with me tonight, Jackson, Phelps, and Jackson. This is a matchup between bitter rivals. I mean, we've seen things get chippy the last time they were here. Both these teams played here at Phil Welch, but we've just seen great games, and both these teams know how their postseason looks. They don't have to play on Monday in that wild card round. They get to wait until Tuesday to see how their opponent is, but they still want to beat each other. I mean, right now the Mustangs lead the season series 3-2. But when these two Titans clash, you know there's going to be fireworks.
And that's 100% true. Last time they were here in Phil Welch, like you said, tempers were flaring. Everything was getting rowdy. And there's nothing going to be short of that tonight. Both these teams don't like each other, and they know every single game is going to be competitive. But the Mustangs, like you mentioned, Truman, lock up that number one spot. A little bit of comfortability for this team. But you definitely don't want to lose sight on the little things, and that's exactly what they're going to do here. 2 more games left here in the regular season at Phil Welch. It's all about those little meticulous things. It's trying to get yourself prepped and ready for Tuesday. Having the day off on Monday, get some extra rest is going to be really nice for these guys. Yesterday took the loss to Clarinda, but here back at Phil Welch, I'm expecting nothing short of fireworks once again against these A's.
And I think it's only fitting to talk about the two top hitters in the MINK going right at each other tonight, Drake Cobb and Darius Freeman. I mean, Cobb basically first in every category, first in batting average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, hits, RBIs, second in doubles, and walks. But you know who's right behind him on that list? Darius Freeman. Freeman, first couple weeks, slow start, but now he has really turned into the Darius Freeman that we saw last summer and then some. I mean, he's hitting .377 second, third in hits with 43. He's second in doubles, second in RBI, second in stolen bases, third in homers. I mean, when you have two Titans clash with the bats, it's fun to watch.
It really is, and these two guys are so fun to watch. They both have the flair. They both have the swagger. They have the persona of a person who can lead this ball club to wins. Last time Drake Cobb was here at Phil Welch, blasted a home run off of the rec center. They know how to put flair onto the game. Darius Freeman, 2 home runs in Nevada. Both of these guys know how to win ball games. They know how to lead, and they're just so fun to watch, and I cannot wait to see what they can do tonight here on a beautiful Friday night here at Phil Welch.
Definitely is beautiful. Cloudy early this morning and into the afternoon, but the clouds have started to part. The blue sky shining through. Mustangs are getting introduced, but we'll have first pitch and starting lineups coming up next as you're watching St. Joseph Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. the gorilla from Pittsburgh State University, Landon Reith, makes his 7th start of the summer here on Friday night and 2nd start against the Clarinda A's. That first start was back on that June 26th matchup that they ended up having to finish on July the 5th. But Reith was fantastic. 6 innings, only 1 run on 4 hits, and he struck out 6 and walked 2. And Jackson, we're hoping to see that Landon Reith compared to the last one we saw back on July the 1st at Chillicothe. Gave up 8 runs in 4 innings. Did have 6 strikeouts and 2 walks, but definitely was leaving the ball over the plate and was getting hit around.
You know, definitely. You know, the guy like Landon Reith, he has such great control, a good K-walk ratio. He's going to find that zone early on. He had that, like you said, the great outing against Clarinda, and it's a good team you want to have an outing on. Against Chillicothe, that 3rd-place team, you know, you're going to have outings like that. It's what's going to happen, you know, here in the Mink. You know, it's both teams that are going to be playing. They're both always versatile. You just never know what can go on either way. But Reith is a guy that's one of the aces this year on the team. He's at that 3 area on the ERA. Him and Guck both have been up there to being, you know, the 2 to talk about to start in the playoffs, you know. But Reith has been amazing. I'm looking to see what he can do tonight. Hopefully he come out here and put some good innings on.
And he'll face a Clarinda lineup very similar to the lineups we've seen that the A's have thrown out against these Mustangs. But the 3 guys that really have done the most damage spread out throughout the lineup. Obviously, you got Drake Cobb in the 3-hole. I mean, what more can you say about him? Unfortunately, I mean, the thing is his average has dropped below 500. Yeah, 500. But also, guys, in that 6-hole, Tavon Homelar has been incredible this year against the Mustangs. And then that guy in the 9-hole, don't sleep on Colin Mateo. We saw what he did back on July the 5th, and we're hoping it doesn't happen here tonight.
Not at all. Mateo, that 9-hole spot, I mean, he's so good. He knows how to get the barrel to the ball, but he has such great accuracy off the bat. He definitely knows where he wants to put it. Him and Cobb both. I mean, they're so smart at the plate. They'll work the counts. But so the A's lineup all the way through, same like the Mustangs. They know how to work it out, and it's going to be a battle between who can stay on the mound the longest.
At one point during that June 26th game, Reith retired 12 straight hitters, as it is Lath Holiday to get the A's started. He played yesterday. First time he had played against the Mustangs this season was yesterday in that big 9-2 win for the A's. In that game, he was 3 for 5, 3 runs and RBI, but the biggest number, 3 stolen bases. We talked about the Achilles heel of this Mustangs team has just been their ability to throw out base runners. And this is a guy you want to leave off the bases, and that's a beautiful curveball from Reith. And it's a quick 3-pitch strikeout.
That's a beautiful job by Reith. He had 2 straight fastballs, but on the 3rd pitch, got the off-speed on Holiday. He just wasn't expecting it. Got all out in front of himself, and it just dropped in front of Philippi. Beautiful sequence there to start out the game from Reith.
Had 6 strikeouts last time he pitched against the A's. Also had 6 strikeouts, like I said, back on July the 1st. But now it's Micah Nicholson. Nicholson talked about the chippiness that happened in that July the 5th game. He was one of the 4 players that were ejected from that game. So he had been 0 for 3 with a run and a walk before getting ejected. He was 1 for 4 yesterday with an RBI, a run, and a walk. Landon Reith settling in early.
Like, you got to get comfortable early in the game. Find your zone, and I think he's finding it where he wants to put those balls.
Skied, shallow right, in comes McCollum. But he settles under it to make the grab, and it's a quick 2 up, 2 down for Landon Reith.
Exactly what you want to put it on the inside half of the plate. Nicholson got the bat around, but it was already in that zone by the time the bat got there. So all it did was just go straight up in the air. Exactly what Reith wanted, just pitching for the out. Now 2 outs on the board. You're getting the top hitter right now on this lineup.
Drake Cobb, 485 hitter out of Palomar College. That's the highest in the Mink, and then 40 RBIs, most runs driven in this Mink. He's played in 38 games. He has more multi-hit games than he has games with 0 hits.
Now that's a stat. Wow.
It has been pretty incredible this season that Mr. Cobb has had, and he has feasted against the Mustangs. He has had a hit in all 5 games, and a couple of his best games have come here at the Welch. There's a nice curveball, drops in.
Had that home run, like I said, hit the rec center. I mean, me and you, Truman, we were both blown away by the distance that came off that bat from Cobb.
He had 4 RBIs in that July 5th game. Another curveball just spins in there. Almost a Rich Hill, CC Sabathia type curveball, one of those big curves. Reith, tall, lanky left there on the mound, big leg kick. Lets that arm just wrap around and really come across. He's got the best hitter down 1 and 2, and it's a fastball on the inside corner for strike 3. Landon Reith throwing up a big 0 early and going 1, 2, 3 quickly. And he strikes out the best hitter in the Mink looking. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Mustangs are coming up to the plate. It'll be Creighton Tuzio opposite Reith here tonight. Right-hander out of Iowa Western Community College, making his 3rd start on the year, but he has been fantastic, Jackson. Last time out at Chillicothe, 5 2/3 shutout innings, just gave up 2 hits, walked 1, and struck out 4. Late joiner to this A's team, but he's definitely been a bright spot on this pitching rotation.
I mean, come on, the ERA of 0. He's really locked it down through his 11 1/3 innings pitched, and he's looking to do the same thing. Really tall frame. He's definitely another guy like Reith who gets around that fastball, and he definitely has that arsenal with those off speeds I'm noticing here. So it'll be a tough time for the lineup, but I think these guys can work those counts up. They're just really going to have to play with Tuzio on the mound.
It'll be a tough challenge in those first 3 hitters that the Tenderloins Mustangs send out. Darius Freeman, Trevor McCollum, and Braden Lukehart. 3 of the best hitters, and having them at the top of their lineup, nothing short of great for Johnny Coy. But it will be Darius Freeman, arguably the 2nd best hitter in the Mink this year, 377 average, hit 2 homers in game 1 of a doubleheader on Wednesday against Nevada. And he sits 2nd in RBIs with 36. First pitch is lined down the first base line and foul.
Love to see it. I love the first pitch attack mode from Freeman. Saw something cut across into the inner half. Got the good swing around just a little bit in front, but I do like the swing in the attack.
Freeman did not play yesterday up in Clarinda. He quickly finds himself down 0-2. Mustangs are coming off a 3-3 road trip. It was a long road trip. Couple of doubleheaders, 2 on Sunday in Jeff City, 2 on Wednesday in Nevada. They split both of those, and they beat Sedalia on Tuesday and lost yesterday to Clarinda. Looking to win the final 3 games and the final 2 games here at home. So fastball misses outside.
And, you know, yesterday they're looking to do the same thing. I mean, they had 12 team hits yesterday, just 11 left on base. So they're looking to capitalize with those runners in scoring position a little bit better.
Definitely seen them get those hits with runners in scoring position with a frenzy, but have also had those nights where for some reason they just can't get that one hit. Two inside from Ruzio. He missed his spot. Porchow behind the plate thought he had it, but he had to reach back across his body. Freeman does have 15 walks on the season. Playing in his 31st game of the summer. The full count offering, swung on and missed. And Creighton Ruzio starts his night with a strikeout of the Mustangs' best hitter.
That was just a great sequence once again. It was the same thing that Reith had. It was just working every single area of the plate from east to west. And just the different pitch types, Freeman just didn't know what was coming at him. But now he's seen them. But now it's going to be up to McCollum to try and get it started here for the Stangs.
McCollum has had some high moments this season against the A's. He was the hero of that June 26th game that finished up on July the 5th, getting the walk-off single. He had the game-tying single and the walk-off single, part of a 2-for-4 with 2 runs driven in night for him. Comes in hitting 293, just below that 300 mark. In the driver's seat ahead, 2-0. And he swings and rips one into right center, and it'll fall. First base run of the night for either side is a one-out single from Trevor McCollum.
Beautiful piece of hitting. It kind of jammed him on the end of the bat, but it just flared enough. Honestly, it kind of came off that velocity from Tuzio. It got it around pretty quick, but McCollum just getting the bat on it, it works wonders. Just getting contact, and there you go. First runner on for the Mustangs.
23rd hit of the year for McCollum, and it brings up Braden Lukehart. 323 hitter, and ever since coming back after rejoining the team after missing a stint in late June, has been on fire. These first three hitters here for the Mustangs all did not play yesterday. You could fully expect these three guys to headline that playoff lineup.
Just looking to get them their reps and at-bats just to see pitches. You know, it's a thing. You don't want to give them too much rest before that Tuesday playoff time.
Fastball on the outside corner for strike one. Lukehart, 31 hits in 96 trips to the plate. He also hit his first homer on the road trip in Sedalia. 1-1, skied to left, backpedaling is Wilson, but it hangs up just enough for him for out number 2.
I like the swing, you know, he just wanted to get something in the zone. Tuzio did a good job there. I mean, he just put it in play, but just a better defensive pitch there from Tuzio. So now 2 outs, looking to get out with a runner on, but look at the Mustangs to continue this lineup, get a surge going.
Right guy to get a 2-out surge. Dom Felix, he's really anchored anywhere in the lineup from 3 to 5. Really made his name known in the cleanup spot. Average is down to 294. It's been a cold couple of weeks for Dom. Still does have 32 hits and 30 RBIs, though. McCollum headed to second, and he will be in there standing. That pitch almost hit Felix.
Well, that was running upstairs close to the head, and Tuzio's gotten a little bit erratic to those right-handed batters. Almost hit McCollum up in that same area, so they're going to have to watch out there. But nice stolen base. You get a runner in scoring position. Now Felix, you just got to come through. Just put something out there. McCollum's got the speed.
12th stolen bag of the year for Trevor McCollum, and it now moves him into scoring position. Long look from Tuzio. And Felix slices one to right center, but Knight got a great read on it and runs it down in the alley to retire the side. Mustangs get one hit in the inning and strand a runner in scoring position, but through one, neither side able to crack the scoreboard. Head to the second here at Phil Welch, tied 0-0. Get a look at the defense behind Reith here tonight, who had 2 strikeouts in the first inning. Only needed to use his defense for 1 out, but it's Carter Belton, Braden Lukehart, and Trevor McCollum in that outfield. Truman Bodenhausen makes his first start in the hot corner with Chris Coy and Dom Felix. First time we've seen those middle mates man the central time zone of this Mustangs defense. And then Jaden Little over there at first base. With battery mates tonight being Mr. Landon Reith and Easton Philippi.
You know, it was a late change between Bodenhausen and Felix. This was their original spots, whereas Bodenhausen back at second and Felix at the hot corner. But again, I was talking to Andrew Clark today on our podcast, and he was just talking about with that first seed wrapped up, you can kind of test the waters with some new things. You don't really have to worry about getting the fundamental win. It's all about just seeing how much you can push those limits going into the playoffs.
Kane Wilson leads off for the A's. They went 1-2-3 with a couple of strikeouts in the first. A's now have 310 team strikeouts. That leads the MINK. But funny enough, they also have 252 walks, which leads the MINK. So you can't just say it's boom or bust. They do both equally well and equally bad.
That's another one of those crazy stats that I've seen here in the MINK. You lead the team, you lead strikeouts and walks. That's just crazy from both ends of the spectrum.
Breaking ball runs too far inside, and the A's first base runner comes on a hit by pitch.
That's just one that Reith is just going to have to shake off. First batter of the inning, you get him plunked. That's all right. You have a runner on first, double play set up, but it's a good spot now. Lefty-lefty matchup now for Reith. He's just going to look to put it on the ground or get another strikeout. Just get it out on the board, shake off that first hit by pitch.
It's Cooper Knight, who stayed steady, 280 hitter out of Angelo State. 35 hits and 20 runs driven in. He was 0 for 4 yesterday, however. He's going to try to lay down a bunt. Pulls it back for strike one. These two teams both hold the top two offenses. Mustangs average 8.16 runs per game. Clarinda's right there at 7.41. Clarinda 371 hits leads the MINK. Mustangs are in second. So now Reith has Knight down 0-2. You even get to the pitching side. Both these teams go 1-2 in just about every pitching and hitting category. Oh-2 doesn't offer at the breaking ball. 1-2.
It's a good look. I like that breaking ball, especially with those lefty-lefty hitters. That thing's going to go all the way to that face area and drop all the way down to your feet in the zone, too. So Reith knows exactly how he wants it. Knight was looking like he wanted to give it a shot.
1-2, another breaking ball. Hooked foul. Wilson is a threat to steal, has 7 stolen bases on the season. Especially in a breaking ball count, if you can get a good read off Reith. Try to exploit the weakness in this Mustangs offense. Not going. Fastball misses outside. Fifth time Knight is facing the Mustangs. Just one hit in the previous 4 as a breaking ball. There is hit number 2 as he rips it into right. Turning and heading to third is Wilson. The throw from McCollum offline. And gets away from Bodenhausen and out of play. So the first run scores on a throwing error by Trevor McCollum.
I mean, it went from bad to worse. Reith put it in the zone. It looked like that breaking ball just didn't cut enough, and it was right in the wheelhouse for Knight. Got a good piece, put it through the second base gap, and McCollum's job is to just get it over to Bodenhausen, who is making, like you said, his debut at the hot corner. But, man, that's just not what you want there. An easy run for the A's, and now no outs, still a runner in scoring position.
Bodenhausen tried to knock it down, but it just clipped off his hip and got past him. This was a good curve there from Reith, but Knight just able to hook it in the hole between first and second. So now it's Tavon Homelar, another guy who has feasted off Mustangs pitching. Was 0 for 3 yesterday with just a walk. He has 6 hits this season in 5 games played. Is now way ahead 2-0. That 0 for 3 performance yesterday broke a nice 4-game hit streak for Homelar.
It's a good payoff pitch there from Reith. 2-0, just gave up the RBI single with the air. He just looked to find the zone once again. But Homelar, that low stance, he definitely doesn't want to put it anything too low in the zone because Homelar can definitely get after those low ones.
Knight bouncing off second. Curveball's found back. Reith's got to be careful with that curveball. That one was up in the zone. Homelar got a good look at it. Best game for Homelar against the Mustangs was on July 5th when he was 3 for 5 with a run scored. Two offering from Reith. Curveball, good block by Philippi. The count now goes full.
Yeah, nice job there by Philip. He bounced off the dirt. It could have definitely got past him on the left side. Probably got past the dirt and moved Knight over. But now full count. Reith trying to get another payoff on Homelar. Would like to see maybe another curveball down low. See if he can get him out in front.
Trying to get that critical first out here in the second. Payoff pitch incoming from Reith. Ripped fair past the glove of Bodenhausen down the left field line. Belton over to cut it off, and it'll be an RBI single for Tavon Homelar.
He's just continuing to find the ball, and that's what he did just there. Inside curveball kind of cut towards the inside half of the zone. Homelar did get out in front of it, but just enough to poke it out past Bodenhausen at third, and an RBI single back-to-back. RBI singles for the A's. They're moving here in the second.
2 home now in the inning as it brings up Joey Caruso. Late joiner to this A's team. He was 3 for 4 on June the 22nd, then didn't play again until July the 9th. 0 for 4 in his only game against the Mustangs yesterday. Like you said, Jackson, was another good pitch from Reith, but it was another A's hitter that was just able to keep their weight back just enough, and for Homelar, keep his hands inside and pretty much guide that ball right past Bodenhausen. And now Caruso lines one to center, and it drops in front of Lukehart. 3 straight singles, and still nobody out yet here in the second.
I mean, this is exactly what the A's wanted after going down 1-2-3 on Reith. They saw all the pitches that he was offering. Predominantly, Reith is going to be that off-speed before fastball type of guy. They know that. They know to get ahead of him early on. A nice swing, again, put on by Caruso. And I like what I'm seeing from the A's. They're attacking early in the counts, and they're also working them in to hitters' counts. So they're doing a good job here in the second.
It's now the Raging Cajun, Clayton Porchow. Takes strike one. Porchow hits in back-to-back games. 1 for 3 performances against Nevada and Carroll. After going 12 straight games without a hit. Now that curveball hits off the shin guard of Philippi and gets away. So now both runners move up an extra 90 feet, and it takes away the double play ball.
Unfortunate there for the Mustangs defense. You give up the double play with no outs on the board. Now that puts 2 runners in scoring position on another lefty-righty matchup. Reith is really going to have to go after Porchow here. Keep it on that inside half.
1-1's upstairs, 2-1. Mustangs infield is back. Willing to trade a run for an out. Little at first is in. That one's lined to center. Long run for Lukehart. He will track it down and make the grab, but again, both runners tag. And Clayton Porchow drives in run number 3 of the inning on a sac fly.
Beautiful swing from Porchow. Almost looked like it was going to get over the head, but then you say the name Braden Lukehart, who covers so much grass in the outfield with his speed. He tracked that down right off the bat. A beautiful catch from him. Does get the sac fly, but you get the out on the board. That's a big step here for Reith, as he's had a little bit of a shaky second inning. Just take it by baby steps. Getting that first out's all probably you're going to need sometimes.
Now it's Colin Mateo in that 9-hole. Well, one of the more scary 9-hole hitters in this league. 327 hitter. Comes in riding a 4-game hitting streak after going 6 games without a hit. And that 6-game hitless streak started after quite the performance he had on July the 5th when he went 3 for 4, 4 RBIs, 2 home runs, 3 runs scored, a walk, and a double in what was game of the year in the Mink. The game the Mustangs led 7-0 early. A's clawed their way back. They never took the lead, but they cut it to 1 3 separate times, and each time the Mustangs had answers. Other curveballs dropped in there for strike 2.
It sure was the game of the year, Truman. It really was a fun one to be able to witness, at both ends doing their job, but it was just the Mustangs who were able to get that final pin in the needle.
Reed looking for strikeout number 3. Instead, it's grounded to Coy at short. Another run will score, but out number 2 is traded for it, but it's now 4 runs put up on the board here in the second by the A's.
Another one and out traded for a run with the Mustangs right there. Put a runner in scoring position at third. Anything there with 1 out was most likely going to score them. The A's just doing their job, putting the ball in play. Now the top 4 hitters in this lineup have all came around to score, and we're back at the top of the lineup for the A's.
Lath Holiday, first pitch, grounds it to Felix at second to finally end the threat. But not before the A's scratch across 4 runs on 3 hits. Nobody left, and they give their man Creighton Tuzio a 4-run cushion headed to the bottom of the second. It'll be Easton Philippi to get the Mustangs started here in the second. Looking for answers early as the A's put up a 4 spot in the top of the second. Now it'll be the middle of this Mustang order looking to answer.
Definitely is. Just want to get those base runners on quickly, move them into scoring position, and just go back to that Mustangs baseball that you know and love. Just get those hits with runners in scoring position. All will be fine.
First pitch taken outside from Philippi, recently uncommitted. Decommitted, I should say, from Wichita State, so his recruitment is back open. Looking to see where he might take his talents. And he grounds one through the hole, and that's how you want to start if you're the Mustangs. Leadoff single from Mr. Easton Philippi.
Beautiful swing down and in the zone. Got ahead of it on the fastball and just drove it past. Exactly the answer you want after a 4 spot in the second. Philippi getting it started. He's been very dominant here, freshman season here in St. Joe. Like you said, just out of his senior year of high school, really shown his true colors, and really glad to see that we've got a good one here in Philippi.
Now it's high schooler to high schooler. Chris Coy, 277 hitter, playing in his 31st game. One of 3 guys with over 100 at-bats on the summer. Coy did not play yesterday. Last time he played against the A's was July the 6th. He was 1 for 3. Pair of runs scored, pair of walks. He also drove in a run. Philippi is a threat to go. He swiped 9 bags and 10 tries. Definitely someone that Tuzio will need to keep his eye on. Breaking ball almost hits Coy on the elbow.
Another time, Tuzio's run up and in on those right-handed batters. He just wants to plate it on the inside half, kind of up in that upper corner. One of the toughest pitches to hit, but he's been having a tough time locating that.
Gives another check on Philippi. Mustangs, 117 stolen bases as a team, first in the MINK. If Philippi could get a good jump to swipe a bag, he would become the 7th Mustang with 10 or more stolen bases on the year. Gave a little fake it going. Coy is jammed, grounded to Lateo, has to throw, and the glove comes off of Cobb. And Philippi moves up an extra 90 feet as Colin Lateo commits the error.
I mean, that just worked out in Coy's favor. Another time to just let the defense make the mistake. First error on the day for the A's. That's just an unlucky spot there. Lenteo kind of put it off for Cobb to make a tough play, and the glove came off. Mustangs will take advantage of that. No outs. Runner on third. This is exactly what you want to start their bottom half.
The throw pulled Cobb off the bag. He tried to go with a swipe tag, but when he did, his glove just got knocked off by the running Coy. Now just what you didn't want if you're an A's fan. Quickly, the Mustangs threatening, still with nobody out, and runners at the corners for Jaden Little. Little was 2 for 4 yesterday with a double and a run scored. Is 12 RBIs. Looking for 13 here. Pops it up straight back. Portiao gives it a look.
Little's in a good spot. Just has to put something in the outfield or a sharp ground ball in the infield. Almost to the opposite side, but Philippi with the speed. Anything slow roller, a sharp liner could get him around. But just looking for that first run, try and chip back.
Coy is also a threat to steal 13 out of 14. We saw the A's move up to get rid of the double play ball. Will Coy do the same? He does go. Breaking ball inside, and Portiao doesn't even throw it down. So now it's 2 in scoring position for the Mustangs first baseman.
Beautiful jump from Coy. Right there in that situation, you don't want to throw down just in case anything does go wrong. So good job by Portiao to give a little bit of a fake. But now no outs, 2 runners in scoring position. Little in a big spot here. Try and get 2 back.
He's ahead 2-1. And he pops one up into foul territory. Caruso over, but he watches that one hit off the A's dugout as Jaden Little stays alive.
No wind today, just pure how he got underneath that launch angle, drove it out in the foul play. Little did get a little lucky there. Caruso was creeping over, but now 2-2. Little has seen it. He's seen every single pitch in the arsenal so far. Want to see if he can get ahead of the fastball. He's looking to plate it on that inner half.
Tuzio's 2-2's fouled back. Little giving him a battle. A couple of runners in scoring position, and the Stangs down 4-0. Little, this is his 28th game. We've seen him play at first and in the outfield, mostly in right. As he flies one right center. Overs Holiday will make the grab. Both runners tag. Holiday's throw goes towards third, but both runners will be safe. And the first Mustangs run comes courtesy of a Jaden Little sac fly.
Beautiful job by Jaden Little. Kept himself alive at the plate. Got so many good opportunities with those payoff ones in the zone. Did his job. Got it out into the outfield deep enough. Holiday get a good run on it and good catch. But that moves over Coy to the third base. Get the first run of the ball game. Mustangs just doing it in baby steps. Just keep on trying to do your job in every single spot, and eventually it'll pay off.
Another guy looking to do his job is Carter Belton, getting the start in left tonight. Just his 9th game since joining the Mustangs. Been a slow start in those previous 8, just 4 for 22, but one of those hits was a double. Does have 2 runs driven in. Watches a breaking ball outside for ball 1. RBI for Little was RBI number 13. And it was run number 25 that Easton Philippi has scored. You don't usually see catchers being one of the top guys scoring runs on a team, but Easton Philippi has done that.
Nice job here from Belton. He's really worked this count. That last pitch, slider, just cut across his face area up near the head. But I want to see if Belton here can just poke something on the opposite side. We've seen a couple of these pitches go on the more western side of the plate.
Waves and misses at a heater. Now it's 2-2. Belton out of Metropolitan Community College. First summer here in St. Joe. Swings and misses on another fastball and goes down swinging. And it's a huge strikeout. Second of the night for Creighton Tuzio.
Tuzio just went back to the fastball, got him on that 2-1 pitch, got him on 2-2. He just couldn't get ahead of it. That fastball has been on point for Tuzio. The whip around it, Belton not the biggest frame, so doesn't really have the whip around with the bat. So look to see if this bottom half with Bodenhausen can draw in the run from Coy. But just getting the first run across the board is probably all these Mustangs were looking for, but they're looking for more here.
2 outs. Bodenhausen looking to drive in that second run. Average down slightly at 322. 28 for 87 with 2 doubles. Playing in his 28th game. Bodenhausen hasn't played in the last 2 contests versus Clarinda. That one clips the corner for strike 1. Last time he played, July 5th, he was 2 for 4 with a run and a walk. That 10-9 Mustangs victory. Grounded up the middle, off the mound. Lenteo has it. This time he makes a clean throw over to Cobb and gets Bodenhausen stranding Coy at third. But the Mustangs, they do get 1 run on 1 hit, but they leave 1 stranded. They start to cut in this lead. We're headed to the third. 4-1, Clarinda. Mustangs get a run on a Jaden Little sacrifice fly in the bottom of the second, cutting into this Clarinda lead, now 4-1. Jackson, the A's are hungry, and they're looking for more against Landon Reed here in the third.
They sure are. They found the pieces against him back in the second, Truman. I mean, they found the ones they wanted, and they did a good job getting it through the holes. And they had a stint there where it was 3 straight singles and the good chances in those RBI positions. They did their job. They're looking to do the same thing, get those base runners on early. But for Reith, just get the leadoff guy out, get that first runner started here for the Stangs.
The leadoff man is Micah Nicholson, and he drills a breaking ball. Back is Belton off the wall. Missing a home run by a few feet was Micah Nicholson, who leads off the Clarinda third with a loud double.
Off the bat, Truman, I thought that one was over the wall, but oh my goodness, Belton in left field, I thought it was in the glove. Got up on the wall, Spider-Man catch, jumped on it with his hand, and got the glove up, and it just missed out of the glove. So a good opportunity and a good effort from Belton in left field, but it paid off for Micah Nicholson, who put a beautiful swing on and almost drove it out of the wall.
Now it's Drake Cobb, and a perfect run-scoring opportunity quickly here in the third. Belton definitely had a great read the whole time, slammed up into that wooden fence, but just couldn't make the grab. Cobb 0 for 1. Reith got him looking to end the first. Cobb had one of his best games of the season earlier this week against Nevada, an 11-10 extra inning win. He was 4 for 6 with 2 runs scored and 3 RBIs as that one's ground to Bodenhausen, who retires Cobb, now 0 for 2.
Beautifully done from Bodenhausen. Got the perfect chopper over to his side at third. Gave the look over to Nicholson. Nicholson was wanting to get that extra 90 feet with no outs, but a nice job by Bodenhausen manning his island over there at third base, allowing no unwanted members over there.
Now it's Kane Wilson, who scored the first of 4 in the second. He was hit by a pitch, and then he came around to score on the Cooper Knight single after an error by Trevor McCollum escaped the field of play as he reaches out and chops a breaking ball again to Bodenhausen. Strong throw across to get the second out, and then the throw to try and get Nicholson. Barely getting in there on the risky go from Nicholson.
And that's exactly what Nicholson wanted to do the play before. Wanted to see if he can test Bodenhausen's arm over to first, see if he can maybe swipe it over on the return. But a good throw from Bodenhausen gave Little enough time to try the tag, and I think it was a bang-bang play, but nice job from Bodenhausen and Little. Good throw from Little over to Bodenhausen is what I should have said there. Great attempt.
Now after the leadoff double back-to-back, ground outs to third. Cooper Knight, who had that RBI single in the second.
Tried to lay down the bunt. Maybe an early squeeze attempt.
2 outs. Definitely a risky play. You're bunting for a hit if you are trying to bunt. 5th time in his last 6 games that Cooper Knight is now driven in a run. He's in another spot to drive in another quickly ahead 2-0. Again, another nice curveball. Reith able to place that curveball wherever he's wanted to so far tonight. It's been his out pitch, but it's also been a pitch that he's given up a few loud hits on. This one back to the inside corner. Now after he was down 2-0, Reith's evened it at 2 apiece.
That curveball's working so well. Looks really comfortable trying to test it, especially with Knight being the left-handed batter here in this lineup. It can cut across. Doesn't give Knight much time to try and get the bat around on it.
2-2's a fastball low, and now the count is full. 3-2 to Cooper Knight.
Be the risky move, but a curveball here Maybe Knight's sitting on another fastball. Want to see maybe if Reith can mix it up.
Full count offering. Curveball called. Strike 3. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Third strikeout of the evening for Landon Reith, and he strands the leadoff double at third base. Landon Reith throws up the all-important 0, and we're headed to the bottom of the third here at Phil Welch. Mustangs will look to chip back into this lead with the top of the lineup coming up. It'll be Darius Freeman in the top of this Mustangs lineup. Landon Reith did his job in the top half of the third, throwing up a 0. The Mustangs will look to chip away at this 3-run deficit they face against Creighton Tuzio.
Here's a guy that I want leaded off on base. I mean, he's the fastest guy, one of the fastest in the MIAA. Can definitely zoom around those base paths, getting himself in good opportunities to score. But Tuzio really has been rock solid here through his first 2. Shaky second, but looking to bounce back. But the Mustangs looking to get something going.
Tuzio got Freeman to strike out swing in the first time these two faced, leading off the first. Surprisingly, Clarinda, one of the teams that Freeman just hasn't been really able to hit against. He's gotten a hit in 3 of the 4 games he's played in, but he was 1 for 4, 1 for 5, and 1 for 6. Now he's way ahead, 3-0. This is not a guy you would like to walk, especially a leadoff walk. Talked about Darius Freeman with those 20 stolen bases. Second in the MINK. And leads this Mustang team. Now Tuzio battles back. 3-2.
Doing a good job working himself back. Freeman, one of the best leadoffs here in the MINK this season. Really looking to get on base here, but now 3-2. Tuzio's gotten himself back in a tough spot.
Full count again, fouled off. It's been away from Tuzio to Freeman. Not wanting to risk running inside and Freeman catching a barrel. Another full count offering. Outside, ball 4. That's a leadoff walk from Darius Freeman here in the third.
Beautiful job by Freeman. It was another outside pitch, and it just missed the zone. And Freeman doing a good job taking it on 3-2. Similar pitches in that 3-2 sequence on all of them, but Freeman doing a good job. And now that's the guy you want leading it off here on base.
16th walk of the summer for Darius Freeman. He had 10 all of last summer, so he's definitely built up his patience at the plate. It's now Trevor McCollum, who singled his first time up and was stranded at second base in the first. It's McCollum's 23rd hit of 2025. Back in the first, he had 26 last year in 31 games, and already 23 here in just game number 26. Now another fastball runs inside.
I'm liking what I'm seeing from Freeman, getting those big leads at first. Tuzio's already thrown back once at him. But Freeman, who likes to dance around, he wants to get in Tuzio's head quickly because that's how the Mustangs attack, not only on the base paths, but it translates to those bats.
Mustangs, if there was a stat for creating chaos on the base paths, they would definitely lead the Mink, and it wouldn't be close. McCollum originally from Overland Park, Kansas. Another check on Freeman. We've seen him fake like he's trying to steal a couple times now. Tuzio definitely worried about him, especially with nobody out here in the third. Gives another fake, but that one grounded to the left. Goes Nicholson over to second for one. Back over to first. And it's a 4-6-3 double play for the A's.
Beautiful job from Nicholson to Lenteo. The roll was beautiful. Just weakly hit off the end of the bat from McCollum, so able to get it to Nicholson, but he did a good job getting it in the lane for Lenteo to make a clean throw. Big double play, getting Freeman off the base paths, and just not what the Mustangs were looking to do.
It's almost disastrous because Nicholson was a bit fooled. He was headed a couple steps to his right towards second and quickly had to stop on a dime as a high chopper up the middle. Again, fielded by Nicholson. Long throw! And it gets Braden Lukehart. A couple of web gems from Micah Nicholson to end the home half of the third. As we're a third of the way here through a battle between the top two teams in the Mink. And it's the A's who still lead 4-1 here on YouTube. Sam Pitts takes over here in the fourth inning for Landon Reith, who goes 3 innings, gives up 4 runs, just the 2 earned though. Does give up 4 hits and strikes out 3. Definitely not the length you want out of Reith, but it might be one of those scenarios where you're just maybe saving him, saving the bullets, because again, all important games are next week. You're going to need Reith. And it was just one of those that the A's were seeing him very well.
They were. Reith just got unlucky. He was giving him good pitches. He was giving his stuff. You know, it wasn't that Reith was missing. It was that the A's were just doing a better job hitting the ball. And that's the game of baseball. It's the game how it works. Either side's going to make the mistake, and it just looks like the A's were on top of it. 4 hits, 4 runs. They had a great second inning there, scoring those 4 runs. And Pitts just looking to put more donuts on the board, trying to allow these bats for the Mustangs to come in and get some jives started. The vibe is definitely a little bit lower on the hit side as it was yesterday, with those 12-team hits, only 2 through the first 3 innings. So now it's Pitt's turn to try and get some stuff started in another 0.
It'll be Tavon Homelar to lead off. RBI single his first time up. Pitt's out of Cochise Community College, making his 6th relief appearance of the year, 21 innings. Homelar sky high just behind the infield. Coy calling it off, and he makes the grab for out number 1.
Nice job by Coy. I could hear him from all the way up here, just very vocal, screaming, I got it right off the bat. But a nice job by Pitts coming out of the pen, putting one down and inside on Homelar. Got him jammed up on his swing. Got the hands, but those hands were too tight to the chest, so a little bit too high of a pop-up, but a good start for Pitts.
Now Joey Caruso, who was first pitch swinging in his only trip against Reith, singled and scored in the 2nd. Nice breaking ball from Pitts for strike 1. Pitts did pitch against the A's back on July the 5th. He gave up a run in an inning on 2 hits and also had a walk. He was a starter to begin the year. His first 3 appearances were starts. Now he's been another lefty option out of this Mustang bullpen. Now Caruso flies one to right. McCollum back just in front of the warning track and makes the grab, and it's 2 quick flyouts here in the 4th.
It's good defensive pitches. I mean, they kept him on the inside half of the plate both times those A's got handles on the ball. That one had a good drive to it from Caruso. If he would have gotten that bat more squared onto the ball, that thing probably had a chance to go over the wall even. I mean, he had a good swing. It kept the foot back, kept the elbow dropped. Just enough, but it was too much, and a nice job by McCollum reeled it in.
Now Clayton Porchow drove in a run on a sac fly as there's a high chopper off the grass. Bodenhausen handles it, and it's a quick 4-pitch inning for Sam Pitts. 1, 2, 3 go the A's. Clean inning for Sam Pitts. He'll turn it back over to this Mustang offense, looking to get it going. Still trailing by 3 as you're watching St. Joseph Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. Beautiful 82 degrees, and who would have thought I would still be saying that on Friday, July 18, 2025. That is 82 degrees, but I will say we're starting to get to that point of the summer, Jackson, where it's not the heat that'll get you, it's the humidity, one of an all-time Midwesterner saying, but it is true.
It really is. You wake up in the weather and you look outside and you're like, it says it's 83, 82, but it really will feel like in those 90s with that sticky, almost wet feeling with that Midwestern humidity. But, I mean, as the sun has gone down, it's gotten to feel super amazing. That kind of humidity feeling kind of giving a nice crisp feeling to the air as well here in St. Joe, Missouri. But another beautiful night. Skyline looks great outside, and really blessed to be able to have another beautiful day of baseball. No rain, so it is shiny. No rain. And that's what we want to hear at Phil Welch.
An overcast day through much of the morning into the afternoon, but just as ball game started here in the late evening, clouds parted just a bit. It'll be Dom Felix to start the home half of the 4th. Line to right to end the 1st. It's a guy who's been hot and sticky on the mound. has been Creighton Tuzio. Just the one run through 3 innings. He's gotten a lot of swings and misses.
He's gotten him with that fastball. He has that good whip around with that release kind of to the side. He kind of goes around, but it also is a side release. It's really hard to see out of the hand.
Just 2 strikeouts, but he's scattered base runners as Felix launches one in the air, but he got under it. Back is Wilson towards the corner, but it drops right into the glove, right on the warning track, and Tuzio with a big sigh of relief on the mound.
I would also have a big sigh of relief if I saw Dom Felix get a hold of one like that, up and inside, and he got around so nicely. Phil Welch Graveyard doing its due justice here tonight once again, keeping it inside the ballpark, and I want to see Felix put more swings like that. It's going to end up working out, but you want to get those types of swings, getting ready for those playoff pitches.
I want to talk about one of the most unlucky hitters in this Mustang lineup has to be Dom Felix. It seems just about every game he crushes one to left and is still yet to see one go over the wall after he had 4 big flies last summer. Now the man who scored the only run for the Mustangs, Easton Philippi. He singled in the second, came all the way around to score on the Jaden Little sac fly. At Staley High School, one of the many high schools in Kansas City. Maybe that should be a challenge, tomorrow night, Jackson, just to get you prepared. Can you name every high school in Kansas City, in the greater Kansas City area?
I can give you a bunch. I graduated from Staley, so I know all the surrounding schools there. Philippi was heck of a ball player there through his freshman year all the way to his senior year. I was there to see his freshman and sophomore year, but yeah, he's a good kid, good ball player. Staley High School, one of many in Kansas City.
3-1, he chops it to the right side. Cobb has to come off the bag. He'll throw to Tuzio, who steps on the bag, and a great play by the first baseman and the pitcher for the A's.
That's a good sequence there between Cobb and Tuzio. Cobb had to go over to the glove side to get that ball fielded. He was kind of off balanced. He had to make a quick throw because we say all the time, Philippi with that sleeper speed got down the line pretty quick, but a nice job by Tuzio, and Cobb the good delivery. A nice first out. Second out here in the 4th.
Nice PFP as it's quickly 2 up, 2 down for Chris Coy. Coy reached on an error and was stranded at third. As the Mustangs had runners at second and third and nobody out, and only one came across in that second inning. Another breaking ball clips the top of the zone. Coy's quickly down 0-2.
That's a beautiful pitch, off speed, cut inside at the last second. And Coy can't really do too much, but now he's in protect mode. 2 strikes, 2 outs.
That breaking ball, Tuzio looking at his hand. That one started about on the edge of the dirt circle and finished to that outer edge of the right-hand batter's box.
Really showed us from our view how much that thing does move. I mean, it would cut from one end to the other. Even if it was extremely inside on Coy's side, I mean, that thing still had a lot of movement.
Coy from Benton High School. Had the Benton High School cheer squad out pregame. Fastball rides high and tight. Would you classify Benton High School as a Kansas City high school, or since Benton is its own city?
Since it's in the St. Joe kind of area, I consider it a St. Joe high school. But St. Joe is technically a... There you
It's
go.
on 2-2, a breaking ball swung on, missed.
We'll pause that.
And Creighton Tuzio, we'll go back to the high school talk, and maybe have a little bit of a zoning meeting in the top of the 5th. As the A's and Creighton Tuzio continue to mow down these Mustang hitters. They still lead 4-1 headed to the 5th here on a Friday night in Phil Welch. It'll be 9-1-2 for the A's, looking to get Creighton Tuzio more run support. Lead by 3. And Colin Lateo gets his first crack at Sam Pitts. Lateo 0 for 1, but he did drive in a run on a ground out. So Lateo back on July the 5th in that 2-homer game, had homers off both Pitts brothers.
He had himself a ball game.
It was in that at-bat that Lateo got a hanging breaking ball from Pitts, and he walloped it not just past the first ball, but out of the ballpark. Is that one dying in center, and it dies in front of Lucard, who gave it a good effort. But it's a leadoff single for Colin Lateo here in the 5th.
Lateo having himself another good ball game. Just got a nice piece on the end of the bat. And Lucard looked like he wanted to go full effort in center field, but again, it's kind of those thought process right there. You got the first seed locked up. Why risk yourself in a moment like that? But a nice job by Lucard, kind of giving a deke. Hold Mr. Lateo at first.
Lath Holiday's 0 for 2. Takes strike 1 up and away. Holiday struck out and then grounded out to Felix at second base. It's another one on the ground. Bodenhausen cuts it off, goes to second for 1, over to first. Not in time. They get the lead runner on the fielder's choice.
That's exactly what you want to do. Force play at second base. Get that leading runner off on Lateo. But Holiday with the speed back on first, but now 1 out. Double play is still in order for Pitts, so he's doing a good job putting the ball in play for his defense. Want to see him continue to do that.
It was a tough play for Felix, able to keep his foot on the bag. Throw was a little high to the glove side, but Felix, not the normal second baseman. Great fielding position. Now Micah Nicholson, who was a few feet away from hitting a homer his last time out, bloops one into left center over the head of Coy. A heads-up play goes back to second, but now it'll be runners at first and second. Micah Nicholson with his second hit.
I was waiting to see Coy make a heck of a play, a basket catch over the shoulder, but that's the hardest catch to make, especially at the shortstop position. We're not expecting Bobby Witt Jr. tonight out of Chris Coy, but he did a good job realizing that Holiday took a big banana peel around second base, got the jump throw on him, but just a good piece of hitting, just finding those holes here in this Swiss cheese defense. And the Mustangs was Nicholson.
One of the most famous guys who made the basket catch. His normal catch was Willie Mays. Unfortunately, Coy, that ball just out of his reach. Now a tough situation for Pitts with Drake Cobb at the dish. So far tonight, Cobb 0 for 2. Closest Cobb has come to being hitless against the Stangs was July the 6th. He was only 1 for 4 with just 1 RBI and a stolen base. This is a guy you want to pitch carefully, but don't want to risk the walk. Cobb 32 walks, second in the MINK. (2-0) again, clips the top of the zone right at that belt.
You're right. You do really got to be careful here. He's itching to get something. One swing of the bat from Cobb could really blow this game open. And as you see that big hole in the shortstop third base side, as Coy's playing in that pickoff depth.
There goes Holiday for third. Throw down, not in time. And Lath Holiday easily steals third base.
A beautiful jump by Lath Holiday. That's stealing third, and that's just one of the harder things to do in the game of baseball, but sadly the Mustangs just haven't been able to capitalize on those stolen bases with these other opposing squads. Philippi, a great throw down, just a couple steps behind is all they are, and now a runner 90 feet away, and Cobb sitting at a nice 3-1 count.
Double play still in order. 7th stolen base for Holiday. Now taking off for second is Nicholson, and instead it's just going to be a walk, so now the bases will be loaded.
And that's just going to be an unfortunate situation there from Pitts. The stolen base attempt right there from Holiday got himself juiced out, and he just had to get something out across the plate for Philippi, but now got him in a 3-1 count. The stolen base attempt there by Nicholson. I mean, he was going to be going regardless, but just 3-1. You can't lose Cobb, but at the same time, you don't want to pitch to Cobb in that situation. So just a tough situation that Pitts is in now with 1 out, but the double play is still at first base.
Bases are juiced. Little's in at first for Kane Wilson. He's been hit by a pitch and scored a run. Takes a big hack at a breaking ball for strike 1. Critical point in this game with this game still relatively close. Last night that game was 2-1 until the A's broke through with 5 against Diego de Santiago to really blow that game open. Now Wilson down 0-2.
That off-speed pitch was a beautiful payoff from Pitts, trying to get Wilson out in front. That's exactly what you want to do. Put the ball on the ground. That's why that curveball, he wants it down in the dirt. See if you can get Wilson to make a mistake. But now Pitts sitting comfortable at 0-2. Just cannot lose Wilson here on this nice opportunity.
Oh-2 from Pitts. Swung on and missed. Sam Pitts, a huge strikeout. His first since coming out of the bullpen. It's a big one. Out number 2 in the inning and keeps the bases full.
Taco time at Phil Welch, and what a better time for taco time. Bases loaded, 1 out. You need that insurance out to make sure that anything in off the bat is a playable 3rd out. That's a beautiful job by Pitts. Gets that big strikeout, and now you're sitting real comfortable. You really don't have to worry about any of the runners on. It's just attacking Knight right now in this situation.
Another lefty-lefty matchup. Knight's 1 for 2 with a run driven in and a run scored. He was the last guy that starter Landon Reith faced, and Reith got him looking with a runner at 3rd. Pitts looking to do the same thing and retire Knight with runners in scoring position. Trying to hang another 0 for the Stangs. Instead, a breaking ball runs inside and clips Knight on the shoulder. And it's an RBI hit by pitch.
And that is just rough right there. He wanted to get the curveball in on the inside half. Lefty-lefty matchup, trying to get that curveball off the hand inside. It's just so tough, and it just missed. And that's an unfortunate one, and that's one that Mr. Pitts is going to want back. But now the bases are reloaded with 2 outs and another run on the board for the A's.
It's one of those pitches that Pitts knew immediately out of the hand that was not going to be good. And unless for some reason Knight had just jumped out of the way, that one was going to hit him. So Holiday scores. Nicholson and Cobb all move up. For another guy, a scary guy, Tavon Homelar. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI back in the 2nd. We were hoping Pitts could get Knight and avoid this lefty-righty and get the lefty-lefty matchup. Gets Homelar to chase, though. Popped up. Felix calls off Little and makes the grab to get out of the inning and leave the bases loaded, but not before the A's. They get 1 on the hit by pitch, extending their lead back to 4. Halfway home here on a Friday night in St. Joseph. A's now lead the Mustangs 5-1. 7-8-9 for your Mustangs, who are donning their Tenderloin persona for the final time this season. It's Jane Little, Carter Belton, and Truman Bodenhausen, who now face a deficit of 4 runs after the A's able to scratch across a run on a hit by pitch in the top half of inning number 5.
Looking to get it going. Get that leadoff runner on. They did it back with Freeman in the 3rd. You're just looking to attack on Tuzio here. He's been rock solid once again. Only 2 hits tonight in the 1 run.
He's retired 9 of the last 10 hitters. He falls behind Little 2-0. Little has driven in the only run for St. Joe here tonight. Was on that sac fly in the 2nd, driving home Easton Philippi. Big hack on 2-0, fouls it right off him.
Love to see Little here get a piece. He's one of the best swings here on this lineup. He loves to extend those hands out to balls, so if he can catch something on the outside, he definitely is a good one to poke it out into that right field area, but I want to see if he can catch something inside.
Little, one of the handful of guys on this Mustang roster who grew up here in St. Joe, as he lines one sharply but foul outside of 3rd. I've been impressed by Tuzio tonight. He's fallen behind a lot of hitters, but so far, just 1 walk, and he's been able to claw back every time. That time, that breaking ball gets away from him. Never had a chance, and it's a leadoff hit by pitch here in the home half of the 5th.
You'll take it any way you can if you're Little there. Leading it off, looking to get on first at any cost. And there he gets a pitch that just ran inside, and he ate it. Took one for the team. You just got to stack them. Right now, the Mustangs aren't really worried about putting in too much flair. Just got to stack them. And here with 8 and 9, looking to do that.
Now Carter Belton, who is arguably Tuzio's biggest out of the night, after the Little sac fly, it was a runner at 3rd with 1 out, 4-1 at that point. Belton had the chance to cut the lead to 2. Tuzio got him to strike out swinging on a high fastball. It was 3 high fastballs that Belton swung at. He didn't offer at that one for ball 1. Belton has been really a plug-and-play guy. Been only in the outfield. But he's been good. Saw him almost rob Micah Nicholson of a leaping grab off the wall earlier. So far the bat needs to heat up a little bit, as we're in pretty much the final 100-meter sprint of this regular season.
Right now, he just needs to get in front. I think he's just been a little bit behind, especially on those fastballs. Just needs to get that front foot down a little bit quicker. I think Belton here, he's been really dominant here in his college seasons. I want to see if he can translate that here.
Got jammed, popped it foul, now 2-2. Talk about Belton's most recent season at Metropolitan Community College. Played in 31 games. He hit .268, 22 for 82, 2 doubles, 5 homers, and 20 RBIs. It'll be interesting to see once playoffs roll around next week, who are the 9 that Johnny Coy sends out there, because there are so many deserving individuals in that home dugout. Another one fouled back. Porcio gives it a look. Belton stays alive.
I like what he's doing. He's trying to sit back a little bit. I know those fastballs are coming in pretty fast, but Belton's kind of waiting to see if he can get that curve out of Tuzio. And it's that righty-righty matchup that all these Mustangs have had to deal with. You know, Freeman, one of the only lefties on this lineup. It's just tough to see from Tuzio tonight, and I think Belton right now just needs to stay in front of himself. Keep sitting on that back foot.
It's the fastball that Tuzio got Belton with the first time around. Tried to go with the breaking ball there, but he fouled it back yet again. 3 straight pitches now that Carter Belton has fouled straight back.
He's keeping himself alive. He's doing what he needs to do. I want to see if he can maybe work a ball here. A walk would be amazing here for Belton with no outs.
Do it again, 2-2. Chases the slider and strikes out for the second time. Creighton Tuzio wins the battle the first 2 times around against Carter Belton. It's now strikeout number 4 on his line.
It looked like Belton was on time on that off speed, but that thing just cut so much from our west to east view. I mean, that thing just went all the way across the plate. Belton couldn't even get a bat on it. Tuzio really solid with that off speed pitch tonight, and he gets another victim.
Second time Tuzio's gotten Belton to strike out swinging. So now it'll be Truman Bodenhausen. Jaden Little still at first base. Has yet to attempt to steal. He's 8 for 10. Gave no offer to try to steal and get into scoring position. 119 team stolen bases for the Mustangs. Leads the Mink. Now Bodenhausen lay down the bunt, and it's a beauty. No play anywhere. And Truman Bodenhausen with a little small ball.
Just beautiful. Laid it on the opposite side. And off the bat, it laid up just enough to where it didn't give enough time for Tuzio nor Portiao to get a ball on it. Now 2 runners on, 1 out. Now it's back to the top of the order to try and attack. Just get another run on the board. It's back to a 4-run deficit. Mustangs sitting pretty as they start out this bottom of the 5th.
29th hit on a beautiful bunt by Truman Bodenhausen. Clarinda was playing back and just not expecting it. Now it's a tough situation for Darius Freeman. He walked his last time up. He struck out back in the first. Huge situation for the Mustangs' best hitter. And he lines one into left field and down. And now the bases will be loaded. Back-to-back singles by Bodenhausen and Freeman.
Beautiful swing, found the outside pitch, got the hands outside of his body, and poked it through the third base shortstop. Past Linteo at short, and now the bases are loaded. Right there was too quick of a ball off the bat to allow Little to score, but you'll take anything with an out. And now, 2 runners in scoring position. Bases loaded with an out. It's time for the Mustangs to come through what they couldn't do yesterday. Would love to see them do in a spot like this.
Little had to hold up to see if that ball made it through, but it's now Trevor McCollum. He's 1 for 2. Grounded into a double play his last time up. Tuzio would love another double play. It's Freeman's 44th hit. McCollum takes strike 1 on the corner. Bases are full of Mustangs. Down by 4, tying run at the plate here in the bottom of the 5th. Creighton Tuzio looking to make it through 5 innings and only the 1 run. McCollum skies one, shallow right, out comes Nicholson, in comes Knight, and it's off the glove and down. Throw into second, not going to be in time. And a great effort by Cooper Knight, but he couldn't pull it in, and it's an RBI single for Trevor McCollum.
Just a beautiful swing, and it let the defense make the mistake once again. The Mustangs are going to take advantage of any opportunity. Now, that ball was a tough one for Knight to get over to. I'm not going to discredit him for dropping that one. He had to hustle all the way through. He was just focused on getting there. And when he got there, ball just ate it up off the glove. He had a good throw down, just couldn't get in the glove of Linteo, so everyone will be safe. And now the second run comes across. Bases are still loaded, Truman. That out was not caught, so it's still just 1 out.
Second hit of the night for McCollum, his 24th on the year and his 19th RBI. His manager out of the dugout, and that's going to do it for Creighton Tuzio. Ran into trouble here in the 5th. Makes it 4 1/3 innings, gives up the 2 runs so far, but is responsible for all 3 runners on base. We'll step aside, take a short break. Mustangs are threatening. Down now by 3 as you're watching St. Joseph Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. It'll be the lefty Dylan McIntyre to take over for Creighton Tuzio with the bases loaded and only one out here in the fifth. McIntyre 0-1, 3.13 ERA here in 31 2/3 innings. His 7th appearance out of the bullpen. He's been a long relief guy, and he has pitched against the Mustangs. July 5th, went 3 1/3 innings, gave up only 1 run, 3 hits, did have 4 walks, but did strike out 2 his last time out against Nevada. July 14th, 3 shutout innings, just 1 hit and 1 strikeout. And quite the situation he has inherited, Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, right now the base is loaded. All these runners on are going to be on Tuzio. So Tuzio had a decent outing, 4-1 innings pitched. It wasn't up until this inning, I feel like, that he got jambled. I mean, he had a great first 4 and 3 innings. 3 innings before this, he went 4-1 innings pitched, 4 Ks, just the 1 walk. He had a good outing, but he is responsible for all these runs on base. So, I mean, it's a tough situation, double play in order. You're just looking to come out of the pen, but now it's time for the Mustangs to attack.
Lefty. Luke Hart against McIntyre. First pitch hits Luke Hart. And the 3rd run of the inning. 2nd run of the inning, crosses the plate and cuts the lead to 2.
Not the way you want to enter out of the pen, especially with the bases loaded. That'll drive the 2nd run home with the bases loaded here in this ball game. So right now, it's up to McIntyre. Back to the lefty-righty matchup. A good spot for Felix, but just a good job from Luke Hart. Driving in another RBI for him. It's just how much can these Mustangs attack?
27th RBI for Luke Hart. McIntyre, who's brought in to get the lefty. First pitch plunks Luke Hart. Now it's Dom Felix, 0 for 2, but he's hit the ball hard twice. Bases are still loaded, still only the 1 out. Now the tying run at 2nd base. Bodenhausen scored. 21st run he scored on the year. That run charged to the starter, Tuzio. Tucson, Arizona native and Felix. Chases the high fastball, now 1-2.
That's a good look from McIntyre. Just the velocity beat Felix there. He had an idea. He just wanted to catch that barrel, drive it deep into the outfield, but just got behind. And that's been the problem. These Mustangs have really haven't been able to catch those fastballs. But now to 1-2 spot, Felix. He's got to protect that zone.
Another lefty stands on deck in Philippi. Great block behind the dish from Porchow. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Darius Freeman at 3rd. Trevor McCollum at 2nd. Braden Lukehart on 1st. Matchup between the top 2 teams in the MINK who are both locked into those seeds here with just 3 days left in the regular season.
Nice job fouling that one off. You just see something that's close. That one was on the outside half. He's looking to get those hands outside. He wants to take something between that 2nd base gap that is opened up. Infield's in double play depth. So Felix is really trying to shoot something between.
Felix rips one. Was sitting on the curveball. Way foul. Stays alive. 2 balls and 2 strikes. McIntyre didn't give up a run his last outing. Gave up 1 run in 4 1/3 against Carroll on July 9th. This 2-2 slicing away from Knight down the right field line, and it lands fair. Freeman's home. McCollum's home to tie it. Luke Hart to 3rd. And Dom Felix with a clutch 2-run game-tying single.
Just did his job there. And guess who it is? Mr. Felix itching for something to go his way tonight, and it does. Just flared it. All he did, just got the end off the bat, and it fell right in the line. And that brings home 2, and what a spot there he was in, and he came through. Mustangs, like I said, struggled to do that last night. Had themselves in that middle half of the game now. But guess what? Still an out. Runner 90 feet away. This surge is all but yet over.
RBIs 31 and 32 for Felix. That one he got jammed, but he put it in the right spot. For now, the young gun, Easton Philippi, has the chance to give the Mustangs their first lead of the night. And if there's anything we've seen in this series, it's that no lead is safe. McIntyre falling behind Philippi 2-0.
And especially if you enter the friendly confines of Phil Welch. I mean, it's just the Mustangs know how to get after you. Out of the pen, it was the job for McIntyre to retire it, put something on the ground, get a second out. It never happened, and now with a runner 90 feet away, I mean, the Mustangs really looking good.
That one runs way inside, now 3-0. Adam Frazier. Philippi way ahead, 3-0. He's 1 for 2 tonight. He scored the first run for the Mustangs back in the second. And he grounded out to Cobb at first his last time up. Taken all the way, 3-0. Now McIntyre's got to be careful here on 3-1. Command has been all around. Couldn't retire Felix. Can he retire Philippi? Philippi grounds it up the middle. Nicholson over to second for one. Over to first. And a huge 4-6-3 double play. Just how Dylan McIntyre drew it up. Ends the Mustangs' fifth, but not before. It's a brand new ball game. 4 come across in the frame, and none bigger than on Dom Felix's game-tying 2-run single. Stay with us, folks. You're not going to want to miss it. This one's heating up. Tied 5-5, headed to the 6th. So now get a look at the other action going on in the Mink. Jeff City and Chillicothe playing a doubleheader. Jeff City took game 1, 2-1. They currently lead 9-4 in game 2 in the top of the 7th. And then Carroll run-ruling Sedalia. Sedalia needed a win badly tonight to possibly keep their playoff chances alive, but they lose 16-1 and just might eliminate the Bombers from the 2025 Mink League playoffs.
I mean, right there, it was in that middle to the bottom spot. It was just a big tussle war between those teams. And looking to see how it shapes out here today and tomorrow and then into Sunday. So it's definitely going to be interesting between those middle half teams. You know, Chillicothe definitely not out of it in that second place run, especially.
Those 3, 4, 5 spots between Chillicothe, Jeff City, and Carroll still very much a battle and still shake things up. But here at Phil Welch, this game has been turned on its head. The Mustangs plate 4 in the home half of the 5th to tie the game at 5. It's Sam Pitts back out now for his third inning of work. He escaped a bases-loaded jam last inning. Gets the bottom of this Clarinda order with Joey Caruso, who's 1 for 2 with a run so far tonight. Another good breaking ball clips the zone for strike 2.
Just having some troubles getting it in back to the pitcher. But yeah, Pitts has done a good job, especially that breaking ball. He's had it on line to clip that zone. So looking to see here if he can maybe get him on a 2-strike count, see if he can get Caruso out in front.
Doesn't offer it that curveball. Now a full count to the leadoff hitter here in the 6th. Full count is lined shallow right. On comes Trevor McCollum to make a diving grab to retire the leadoff man.
My goodness, Trevor McCollum out in right field had the best jump in the world off that ball. A good swing put on by Caruso, but just the defense in the outfield for the Mustangs continues to shine this season. And McCollum all extension out for the first out. What a play out in right field.
Flashes the leather to retire Joey Caruso, who thought he had a leadoff single. Instead, he's headed back to the third base dugout. Heck of a play by the most tenured Mustang. Now it's Clayton Porschow, 0 for 1 with an RBI that he earned on a sacrifice fly, his first plate appearance against the starter Landon Reith back in the 2nd. Both teams have had innings where they've put up 4 runs and innings where they've put up only 1. That's how we got to 5-5. Here, 1 out into the visitor half of the 6th. Another one from McCollum. This one much easier. Doesn't have to leave his feet. Instead, he plants his feet and makes the grab to retire Porschow.
Good play by McCollum. Didn't have to move much. And back to what you said, Truman, about how even these two teams are. Just both ends of the spectrum. One started hot, one starting to pick up later on. 5 runs, 6 hits each, 1 error for each of these squads. Completely evened out here in this middle half of the game. It's all about who wants to finish strong.
I said it from the beginning of the year. I expected these teams to be in the MINK League Championship. They're doing that so far here as this one popped up by Lenteo. Philippi's over right onto the on-deck batter's circle to make the grab. And Sam Pitts, what an effort out of the bullpen. 3 innings, just 1 run, and he keeps this game tied. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th. It's your Mustangs looking to take their first lead here on YouTube. Mustangs with a golden opportunity here in the bottom of the sixth to take their first lead of the night. They've trailed by as many as 4 at 2 different points in this game, but made a big comeback in the 5th to tie it at 5. Sam Pitts threw up a 0. Now it's Chris Coy and the 6, 7, 8 hitters with a chance against Dylan McIntyre. Coy 0 for 2. He did reach on an error and steal a base his first time up against the starter, Tuzio. And he struck out his next time.
Looking to find himself back on base. Such a smart baseball player, especially on the base paths. Would love to see another leadoff man on for these Mustangs. They did it back last inning, and it came off around to score, so looking to get it started.
Coy takes one again at the top of the zone. Both pitching staffs have been able to find that top of our home plate umpire's zone and hit it from time to time. It was a leadoff hit by pitch by Jane Little that sparked the 4-run rally. Big rip by Coy. Fouled away, 2-2. McIntyre looking to finish off Coy and get the leadoff out. Instead, Coy pops one up, foul territory. Cobb over near the Mustangs. Dugout, he'll give it a look, but it's up into the net, and Coy stays alive.
Yeah, did a good job. Just trying to poke something, and it luckily got out of play. It was trailing into that inside depth infield on the first base side. So 2-strike count. Coy just looking to do the same thing, keep himself dancing with McIntyre, looking to get another breaking ball over the plate.
Coy did not face McIntyre on that July 5th game, and in his first time against him, sends it right back where it came from, and it's a leadoff single.
Boom goes the dynamite there for Coy. Got that hit on the night that he was wanting, and just a great swing down the middle. Beautiful swing. He timed him up perfectly, lines it back up, and a great start here in the bottom of the 6th inning, trying to get something going in the bottom half.
Second hit. McIntyre is now allowed. Now it's Jane Little who was the catalyst for the rally last inning. Now looks to add fuel to the fire and build upon this momentum that these Mustang bats have gotten. It's not registered in that bat. Sack flying, a hit by pitch. McIntyre's command been all over the place. Looking to hone in and match the 0 that Pitts threw up in the top half of this inning. Big rip there from Little. Comes up empty. Little was another guy, started slow, but his average now up near 275 and continues to grow.
Yeah, he's really been blooming right at the right time. You know, you said it's slow start, but now he's looking pretty decent here headed into the playoffs.
Coy 13 for 14. 14 now for 15. Has a stolen base tonight. Definitely a big threat to go if he can get a read on McIntyre. Coy chops it over the head of McIntyre. Nicholson cuts it off the glove and into center field. Coy with a nice pop slide and he'll motor on to third. And a critical error by Micah Nicholson now puts the go-ahead run just 90 feet away with nobody out.
Just ate him up on that last second hop. He had it right into the glove. And at that last second, just did not want that to happen into center field. And just a good job by Coy. A quick slide to get back up and realize the ball in center field. Just doing a great job realizing there's 90 feet ahead. And another great 0-out spot here for the Mustangs. A lead runner now 90 feet away.
It's going to be a tough play for Nicholson. He was trying to come through. His only play would have been to first, but it just hit that grass and hit that lip and bounced off the heel of his glove. Coy able to recognize, had slid in feet first, but had his head turned around, saw that ball go past Nicholson and Lenteo, kept on running. Now it's a huge spot for Carter Belton. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Breaking ball high and away. Jaden Little, delayed steal, and it works. It's now 2 in scoring position for St. Joe.
Yeah, good job by Little. He realized that he wanted to. Just psyched himself out, but ended up just committing to it. Yeah, right there, Porchow doesn't even want to try and throw down with Coy, being as fundamental as he is on the base paths. 1-1, Belton sitting good now, a good spot with no outs, 2 runners on.
9th stolen base for Little. And a big spot for Belton. He's ahead 2-1. Clarinda tried a similar play. They tried to create chaos, but the Mustangs ended up getting an out in the July 5th game in the 8th inning. Right there, Little honestly was trying to get in a rundown, but the A's weren't having any of it, so he just took the extra base. Out one misses low, 3-1.
And here's a guy in Belton. He's been down swinging both times he's came to the plate. He's looking to just be productive, and now in a 3-1 count, just stay patient. Don't even have to try and go after anything. Let McIntyre come to you and try and load those bases up with no outs.
First base is open and would set up the force out at any base. And that one does miss outside. So now 3 straight hitters have now all reached for the Mustangs. And it's the bases loaded for the 9-hole hitting Truman Bodenhausen.
Just a beautiful job by Belton. He finally found himself in a hitter's count, and it worked out in his favor. Bases loaded, going to get a pitching mound visit here. After, no outs, bases are loaded. You're tied 5-5. It's just definitely the situation you don't want to be in if you're McIntyre, because it's tough to get out of. We saw the last time that the Mustangs had the bases loaded. They ended up making it work. 4 runs back in last inning in the 5th, and looking to attack once again.
One of the few times this season we've seen McIntyre be this erratic and just not as sharp. And Jackson, if you're Clarinda's coach right now, what are you saying to McIntyre out on the mound right now?
I just want you to get an out on the board. I just want to see one. You can trade an out for a hit right now. You're tied up. You're really only worried about those guys on second and first. You don't want to allow those guys to get back in scoring position. But right now, I'm just saying, get the out, put it on the ground, try and get the double play. But you can get the guy from third to home. Right now, it's in that toughest position with no outs. Hey, if he comes home, it's not the worst thing. It's getting those multiple run situations. Right now, you got a 9-hole. You want to stay away from Freeman with the bases loaded. I think you're just saying right now, just get this out, get some confidence back.
Corners are in for Clarinda. And it's Truman Bodenhausen. He's 1 for 2. At a huge spot. He's driven in 20 this year, looking to add to it and give the Mustangs their first lead. He is first pitch swinging, grounded to Cobb. He'll come home. Gets the out at home. Throw back to first, and it gets past Cobb. Into scores Little. Belton to third, and the Mustangs capitalize on yet another error by the A's.
They had it right there on the silver platter. A great job by Drake Cobb going to the home for the first out. But right there, Porchow just had to put a throw on the line. Now, being at that catcher position, it is a tough throw to go down the first base line with Bodenhausen right there. That's tough. That's a tough break. Another run comes home with another error. 3rd error on the night for the A's. That's one that Porchow is going to want back, even if he just has to hold the ball, not even put a throw down. It puts the bases loaded, but man, that's a tough break. And now Freeman, 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position.
Freeman also singled his last time up. It was just a tough throw from Porchow, who just rushed the throw and allowed a run to score anyway. And now the double play is not even order. A's infield, at least the middle is back, so they're conceding a run for an out. Their corners are in again. So Freeman can just hit a ball up the middle. It should score Belton from third. Little scored on the air. 2nd error of the inning for the A's. The big cut by Freeman, down 0-2. RBI number 21 for Bodenhausen. But now it's the man you want with the bat in his hands, Now trying to pad the Mustangs' lead, their first lead of the night. Doesn't offer it a breaking ball in the dirt. Freeman out of Central Methodist. Originally born and raised across the state line in Kansas City, Kansas. He's a fan favorite here at Phil Welch and here in St. Joe. And that breaking ball misses inside. Evens the count. Another 2-2 for McIntyre. Swung on and missed. And a huge strikeout by Dylan McIntyre. Gets Darius Freeman swinging for out number 2.
I mean, that is a big, big spot there. Right there, big for McIntyre. 2 runners in scoring position, just the 1 out. Getting Freeman out is a huge, huge spot because him back on the base paths is going to be havoc. And so trying to attack with 2 outs now is a little bit easier with runners in scoring position.
Now Trevor McCollum, 2 for 3 with an RBI. Fastball, strike 1. McCollum started the rally last inning with 3 straight run-scoring plays by the 2, 3, 4 hitters in this Stangs lineup. McIntyre trying to limit the damage to just 1. That would feel like a massive win right now. Gets another fastball by McCollum and has him now down 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Right now, McIntyre just wants to probably go back to that fastball, try and see if he can get McCollum behind. Only giving up the 1 run would be huge for the A's, just getting that 1 run on the board. So right now, you're worried about McCollum. Just throw your stuff, but McCollum now notices that. So now it's his time to respond.
Responds by fouling off a breaking ball to stay alive. Carter Belton stands at 3rd. Truman Bodenhausen stands at 2nd. 1 run already home on a throwing error by Clayton Porchow behind the plate. McCollum looking to add on more. Again, doesn't offer at the breaking ball. Now 2s all over the place. 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Mustangs 2-hole hitter. Full count. Fastball missed down and away.
He's got himself in a good spot. 3-2, 2 outs. This is a big pitch for both sides. Mustangs looking to add more to this league. Get some more insurance as we head to that bottom 3rd half. But right now, McIntyre just looking to close it out with 2 run.
Full count payoff pitch in the low in the zone. And it's a 2-out walk to Trevor McCollum loading the bases.
That was a long process, but it ended up working out in McCollum's favor. He stayed patient. And that's the thing that Mustangs love to do with these pitchers, is just get around and get in their heads in those at-bats. And a nice job by McCollum. Ended up on first base for Lukart. Lukart, he's a guy. He is a guy to get something out into the outfield with a nice swing. So I'd love to see that here with a 2-out approach.
19th walk of the season for McCollum. Brings back up Lukart. Lukart was the first guy to face McIntyre, and he got hit by a pitch driving in the 2nd of 4 runs last inning. Fastball misses outside, ball 1. Lukart is 0 for 2 with that RBI hit by pitch. His fastball clips the corner. 1-1. St. Joe kid took his talents down I-29 to Joplin, play at Missouri Southern. Then came back home for the summer. First season with the Stangs. Lines one to third under the diving glove of Caruso. Belton's in. Bodenhausen's a blur. He's in. And it's a big time 2-out, 2-run knock for Braden Lukehart.
And he just made it look so easy. Got the outside pitch, extended the hands, got around on it, had enough velocity to exit the infield in a big spot with two speedy guys with Bodenhausen and Belton on. You get those two big insurance runs. Now the Mustangs, who came from being down in 4-1 back in the second and then 5-1, have now inched it all the way back to an 8-5 lead. You can never count these boys out.
7 unanswered runs. RBIs 28 and 29 of the year for Lukehart in his second and third of the night. Now it's Dom Felix, who had a 2-run hit his last time up in the 5th, 1 for 3. McIntyre tried to go back to the well for the 3rd straight fastball outside, and this one caught too much of the plate, and Lukehart was right on it, lining it past Caruso. Second consecutive inning, the Mustangs have sent 8 guys to the plate. They're still looking for more with 2 outs. Talked about last night, they stranded 11 guys on base. Tonight they have come through with runners in scoring position.
All right, now Felix, 2-1 spot, 2 outs still. You've seen McIntyre, the way he's approached all these hitters in a 2-strike count. Right now, Felix, I would love to see him get a hold of something on his pull side. But that hole really is opened up on that second base, first base side. So if he is late, it could work out in his favor.
Another breaking ball misses high and away. 3-1. Now to Felix.
Mustangs just looking to stack, and they've done a really good job, especially here in this later middle half of the game. I'd love to see another bases loaded 2-out approach. You know, get some guys on right here in the middle half of the lineup.
3-1's upstairs, and the bases are loaded for the second time this inning. Dom Felix works the walk.
3rd walk here in the inning for McIntyre. I mean, he just looks like he just needs that 1 out. He's got 2 outs, bases loaded. He's just looking for something to go his way. Now the Mustangs have not gone quiet. 7 unanswered, like he said, and they're looking for more. Now 8 hits on 8 runs. Now bases loaded with Philippi. And this is a beautiful spot. But now it's that left-handed batter that you need for McIntyre to get that last out. But Philippi, he just does not go down easy. And this is going to be a good at-bat here for McIntyre with 2 outs.
McIntyre's had 3 opportunities to record out number 3, and it was a walk to McCollum, a 2-run single by Lukehart, and a walk to Felix. Now he gets Philippi, who did ground into an inning-ending double play in the 5th. McIntyre faces him again, this time only needing 1 out to end the inning. Philippi's 1 for 3. Fouls one off the end of the bat. Unfortunately for McIntyre, this is one of his worst performances of the season, and especially late in the season, not what you want to see is that one almost hits Philippi. 2-1. Just hasn't been as sharp tonight. He's been falling behind a lot of these Mustangs hitters. And they are feasting on any pitches in the zone.
2-1. Nice job by Philippi getting out of the way, but even if he got hit, that's another RBI for the Stangs.
Jams him on a fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases are loaded. Philippe's the 9th Mustang to come to the plate here in the 6th. Looking to add on to this lead. Upstairs, and now all the runners will be off on the payoff pitch.
Big payoff pitch. I mean, this is risking to give up another 4-run inning here. If the Mustangs can continue to explode this inning, I mean, it's just going to go from bad to worse for the A's. I can already sense it. They got where they want him within his head, so it'll be a big payoff pitch here.
Full count delivery. Line shallow center over the head of Nicholson. McCollum's home. Luke Hart's home, and it's a 2-run single. And now 9 unanswered runs by the Mustangs.
Absolute perfection from Philippe. Got off the end of the bat, got ahead of the swing, and he just had to poke it. Duck snort over the glove of Nicholson, Holiday, and Knight. Right in that Bermuda Triangle. The ball just got lost from these A's defenders. And 10 runs. 10-5, the Mustangs lead it. 9 unanswered the last 2, like you said, Truman. You can't count them out. You never can. Here at Phil Welch, they're putting fireworks on the board early, and they're just continuing to dominate here against the second-place team in the A's.
RBIs 17 and 18 for Easton Phillippe, and that hit knocks Dylan McIntyre out of the game. Didn't have his best stuff, and the Mustangs were hungry for a comeback. As we'll step aside, take a short break. Mustangs aren't done. Now lead 10-5 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. It'll be Jack Bunnell running in from that left center field bullpen, hoping, these A's fans are hoping that Bunnell has brought his fire extinguisher with him. Bunnell has been very shaky. He's 1-1, 13.94 ERA in 20 2/3 innings. Last time out against Nevada, he gave up 4 runs in 2 1/3 innings on 1 hit and 3 walks on July the 13th. And now he gets Chris Coy with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th and 5 already home.
Another tough spot for these A's pitchers to come into. You know, you got the 2 outs on the board. It's way better than last time. But you're just looking to get Coy out here. But Coy, who started this inning, looking to continue it for the Mustangs.
He singled to start, but then was cut down on a fielder's choice at home. As Philippe's stealing second, no throw. Easton Philippe easily in there with a stolen base. Is now his 10th stolen base of the season. And you really go back in this inning to that fielder's choice. On the return throw back to first by Porchow. Way over the head of Drake Cobb. That's when the floodgates opened.
All it takes is one for these Mustangs.
Coy's now way ahead, 3-0 to Bunnell, who is yet only has one outing where he hasn't had less than 2 walks. And there's a walk from Chris Coy. And for the 3rd time this inning, the bases are loaded.
Absolute madness on the base paths for the Mustangs. Yet another walk in the inning. The A's just can never quiet down these Mustangs at the plate. That was 4 straight walks out of the pen for Bunnell. Just not the best luck. And now with Little, who's looking to continue to wreak havoc. Reached both times. So looking to see if he can continue that. Bring in another run.
Now upstairs, ball 1 to Jane Little. Now the ball gets away. Here comes to the plate, throw home in time. And Dom Felix was trying to get risky on the errant throw back to the pitcher, Bunnell. And that ends the Mustangs 6, but not before 5 runs come across and now 9 unanswered runs here in the game. Headed to the back 3 innings of this one. Mustangs now out to a commanding 5-run lead at 10-5 as you're watching St. Joseph Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. Well, Sam Pitts entered this game with his team down 4-1, and now as he enters his 4th inning of work and gets the top of this Clarinda order, he now finds himself with a 5-run lead, as it's been 9 runs in the combined between the bottom of the 5th and 6th innings, as the Mustangs now out in front. And for the 19th time this season have scored 10 or more runs, and the 15th time here at home.
I mean, just complete dominance here at Phil Welch so far this season. And with the 2nd place team, it doesn't matter. They'll come back. They'll do what they got to do. They'll chip away. 9 unanswered runs. A lot better of a situation for Pitts to be comfortable in, to work around some of these hitters. So look to see if the Mustangs can continue this firepower as we head into the bottom 3rd of this game.
Laith Holiday, he's 0 for 3, but he has scored a run. He reached on a fielder's choice. His last time to the dish in the 5th. Pitts has given Johnny Coyne and the Mustangs plenty of innings, and that's honestly more than you could ask for. He's really only ran into trouble in the 5th, and he gave up 1 run, but was able to strand the bases loaded. A's have gotten punched in the face. Do they have a response? Are they going to lay on the mat? Holiday trying to do his part and get the leadoff man on. Both innings that the A's have scored and they've gotten their leadoff man on. And Holiday draws the leadoff walk.
I mean, you can't ask for much more out of Holiday with the speed. That's what you ask out of your leadoff guy. You know, he's the #1 hitter in the lineup. You want to get him on. You can trust him to get around the base paths, get into the scoring position early on. Right now for Nicholson, it's just to get him around. You know, you're down 5 runs in the bottom third of the game. It's time to just trying to get at least 1 or 2 runs an inning to try and chip back, because the way the Mustangs look, I mean, they're not going to slow any bit down.
Nicholson is 2 for 3, including a double. He's been stranded at third both times he's gotten hits. Surprise, Clarinda's maybe trying to play a bit of small ball. Down to their final 9 outs. You're down by 5 runs. It's time to just rear back and start swinging the bats. Some action going on in the Mustangs bullpen. That one golfed to center. Lukehart comes in a few steps, makes the grab to retire Nicholson.
Nice response there from Pitts. Put something down into the middle of the zone, but just enough to be down low to get that golf-type swing. Just clubbed it out into center field. Couldn't do too much with it. So good first out. And now here you go with the guy who still is, without that hit tonight, looking to keep him quiet.
It is Drake Cobb. He's 0 for 2. Did draw a walk his last time up. Looking for that first hit. Extend his hit streak against the Mustangs to 7. Fastball misses. 1-0 to Cobb. Drops the changeup in at the knees for strike 1.
It's a beautiful payoff pitch. You're just trying to get Cobb to look, and he's done that most of the time. He hasn't been able to see that curveball very well off these Mustangs pitchers so far tonight. So the off speed is not what he's looking for. He just wants that fastball, primarily upper inside is what he likes to swing at.
Fastball misses off the plate, 2-1. This is the danger you get in. You fall behind the count to Cobb. He can make you pay if you miss over the plate. But he can also draw a walk. He drew his 33rd walk in the 5th. Mustangs pitching has had success when they've been the ones in control. The teardrop curveball misses up, now 3-1. Lath Holiday on first. He led off this inning with a walk. Has yet to attempt to try and advance the second via the steal. The 3-1 to Cobb misses high and away. Pitt's starting to labor here in the 7th.
He's just missing on that curveball up. He hasn't been able to figure out that release to get it on the other side of the plate to hit that bottom half of the zone. He's just been missing up, so he's just got to make that slight adjustment here. And I think he can work pretty quick through these A's lineup. But a quick mound visit from Coach Mack. Get a quick talk, runner in scoring position. Up 5, I mean, you got the double play still on. I like the walk on Cobb. Don't even allow him to get a chance to hit in this game.
Walk does move Holiday into scoring position. And the more base runners, the closer Clarinda gets back to getting into this game. I want to try to avoid the walks as much as possible, no matter really the hitter. Quick visit from Coach Mack. Mustangs infielders trying to gain some confidence in Pitts, trying to make it 4 innings and save a majority, especially a majority of the back end of the high leverage side of the Mustangs bullpen. It'll be Kane Wilson, the cleanup hitter, who stands in Pitts' way. 0 for 2. He scored a run back in the second on a hit by pitch. Wilson did strike out swinging, his only trip against Pitts. Goes with the inside move. Holiday read it all the way. Already seen Holiday steal third base once tonight. Big hack at a curveball, just fouls it off his ankle. 0-2 now on Kane Wilson.
Just a good pitch. There's that curveball that he was looking for to hit that bottom half of the zone. He caught Wilson going after it in that middle half, just chipped it. So now 2 strikes. Pitt's looking good, just trying to keep these runners on, get that second out.
Gotta make an 0-2 pitch right here. Don't leave anything over the plate if you're Pitts. Have a couple pitches to waste. Try to set something up, maybe fastball elevated. Or go back to that curve, or go back to the curve to set up the fastball elevated. By no means out of the woods. Ahead 0-2. You gotta finish the job. Slam the door. Outside of third, foul. Wilson stays alive.
He was wanting to get early on that curveball. Just got way out in front there, so he's just looking to stay his tempo. But I like the way Pitts has been mixing up his as well, especially with runners on the base paths. He likes to mix up how he delivers those pitches. So he does here 0-2 still to Wilson.
Holiday not going. 0-2 grounded third fair. Bodenhausen, does he beat Holiday to the bag? He does. Throw across. Gets past Little. And they're going to say that Bodenhausen never touched third. So Holiday's going to score. And now it puts runners at second and third with still only 1 out.
That is just an unfortunate situation. Got off in front was Wilson. Put a nice drive down that third base side. He'll reach on the fielder's choice, but it looked like Bodenhausen got over there pretty soon. So it's a tough play to make and a tough play to call. But that chips the lead down to 4. Now 2 runners in scoring position with just an out.
It did look like Bodenhausen beat Holiday to the bag, but third base umpire had a great look at it. Now it's Cooper Knight, who with a single could cut this lead back to 2. Another lefty-lefty matchup. We'll see how much longer the leash is on Sam Pitts.
I say if these 2 runners do go home on Pitts, I see he pull the plug. But 1 more run, I'd say he's fine. Just keep him out, see if he can get an out on the board. But we'll see. We'll see what they're deciding here.
Curveball misses up, now 2-0. And a huge spot for Knight, who's 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. He got plunked his last time against Pitts that scored the A's run in that 5th inning. 2-0 chopper to the right side. Little cuts it off. No runners will advance. And out number 2 on the unassisted 3.
Huge for the Mustangs there. And a great play by Little. He got to his glove side quick on the chopper. Got it, gloved it, gave a look to both the runners. I like that he did that to make sure no one's going, that this is his perimeter. No one gets past. And big second out for Pitts on the mound. Just looking to throw up just the 1 run on a 5-run lead. So now a 4-run lead cut down. Looking to see if Pitts can get himself out.
That's a big out. Pitts will try to get Tavon Homelar. 1 for 3. RBI knock his first time up in the second. Looks at strike 1. Tying run on the on-deck circle. A's looking to extend the inning and keep the line moving. Homelar golfs one. Left field, overs Belton into foul territory. Up against the fence! And over the fence, he can't make the grab. Off the glove of Belton, he gave it all he could. Deep in the foul territory in the left field corner. and Homelar has new life.
Deep foul ball there, and Belton in the foul territory. Got over there, got the speed on him. Just couldn't make the play. Same thing happened in right field tonight. You know, they're just worried about getting over to the ball. They just aren't worried about making the catch. But now 2 strikes, 0-2 here on Homelar.
Homelar tried to argue that hit him. Said it's just a regular old ball.
It's a good spot to try and argue. You know, trying to load it back up with 2 outs. And in a 2-strike count, that's a beautiful time to try and argue something. But now Pitts still has some more balls to work with on Homelar.
Fouls it off. Homelar getting his money's worth up there against Pitts. We've seen the Mustangs come through with 2 outs. These last 2 innings with 2-run hits. Does Tavon Homelar have a 2-run knock in the barrel of his bat? Instead, we'll do it again, 1-2.
Since that deep foul ball, Homelar stayed composed. Realizes he's seen Pitt's pitches up to that point. He was down 0-2 and he fouled it off. He's down 0-1, brought it to 0-2. Just trying to work himself back up in this count.
For the 3rd straight offering, 1-2 to Homelar. Upstairs. Couldn't get on top of the breaker. Now 2-2. Yet again, 2s all over the place. 2 men on. 2 men out. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2nd time Homelar's faced Pitts. Fouled off again. Neither guy wanting to give in. Batter and hitter playing chess. One of the biggest at-bats of the night. Sam Pitts looking to make it 4 innings out of the bullpen. 2-2. Swung on and fouled off. Barely got a piece of it was Homelar. And yet again, we'll do it again. Sam Pitts and Tavon Homelar.
Just got lucky there to get a piece of that. He was behind. Pitts thought he got the strikeout. Looking to see if Philippi maybe would have caught that. But once again, we're playing at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Who's going to come out on top?
10th pitch of the at-bat. Popped in the air. Belton in. Belton under. Belton grabs it, and Sam Pitts. What a job out of the St. Joe bullpen. 4 innings and only 2 runs given up, and he strands a pair of runners in scoring position. It's time to stretch it, Phil Welch. Headed to the bottom of the 7th. Mustangs preserve the lead at 10-6. Leading it off here in the bottom of the 7th. We've stretched here at Phil Welch, and it's Jaden Little who was at the dish to end the 6th. But after a throwback from the catcher Porchow to Bunnell, got away. Dom Felix tried to get home. He was gunned down at the plate. Little 0 for 1, but he's scored 2 runs, driven in a run, and stolen a base. A's got to run back in the top half of this inning, but still trail by 4 here in the later innings of this game between the top 2 teams in the MINK. Both teams have already punched their tickets to the playoffs and locked up the number 1 and number 2 seeds respectively. Now it's all about just getting the win for glory and to hold it above the other team's head in what has been a rivalry that has blossomed over the last 2 years.
It really has. I mean, these two teams don't really like each other all that much. They know that the competition's always going to be there, like we mentioned at the start. In any game, they don't even care about the playoffs and everything. They just want to win over each other, and that's a rivalry that you love to see.
Little full count here to open the Mustangs 7th against Bunnell, who walked Coy, first batter he faced in the 6th, before the lucky break, you could say, got him out of the inning. It's the bottom of this Mustangs order: Little, Belton, and Bodenhausen. They've been the ones to really start the rallies and get the Mustangs back in the game. And it's a leadoff walk for Jaden Little.
Great start, just looking to get that leadoff runner on. They did it, back in the 5th. They did it back in the 6th. And now they're looking for that same result of an inning with that leadoff runner on. Here in the bottom half, we'll look to see if they can produce.
That's Carter Belton. He walked and scored his last time up. He's also struck out twice. Both those strikeouts were against the A's starter, Creighton Tuzio. Bunnell struggling with command. Command has eluded him this whole summer. Now Belton rips one down the left field line. That one will fall. One hop against the wall. Little heading to third. He'll hold there, and it's a double for Carter Belton.
Beautiful swing from Belton. He was looking to do it all night long. He was down 2 strikeouts in his first 2 at-bats, got the walk in the 6th, and there he goes. He catches that barrel in the inside half, and he extends another inning to go the Mustangs' way. 2 runners in scoring position, no one out. Beautiful job by Carter Belton.
Second double of Belton's Mustang career, and his 5th hit of the summer. Brings up Truman Bodenhausen with 2 in scoring position and nobody out. The A's are just going to play back. Middle's back, corners are in. Big spot for the Savannah, Missouri native. Bodenhausen 1 for 3. He's driven in a run, and he scored 2 runs. Fastball on the edge for strike 1. Bodenhausen in the 6th. Hit into what is right now the turning point in the game. Bases were loaded, nobody out. Grounded 1 to Cobb at first. He came home to get the force, but then on the return throw, back to first, Porchow just airmailed it. And that's what really set the fire for the 5-run outburst by the Stangs.
Just looking to stack more here.
Ball in the dirt, 3-1. Top of the lineup, and Darius Freeman stands on deck. Near up the head, and it's the second walk of the inning issued by Bunnell. And now the bases are loaded.
I feel like that's just a commonality we've been saying tonight, Truman. This the bases loaded, bases loaded, bases loaded. I mean, and it's awesome to see from the Mustangs. They're being quiet. They start the innings quiet, but then they get those runs on the base paths, and then they come around to score. It's just how they do it. Now we're back to the top of the order. Righty-lefty matchup. It's a beautiful time to get some more runs across. Get that one back at least, but here you go with Freeman, no outs. A beautiful time to approach.
Freeman's 1 for 3. Has yet to drive in a run. Looking to do so here. Sliced right at Wilson. Makes the grab. Tagging and coming home is Little. Throw is cut off. And there is the run. They allow in the top half of the inning. Sack fly, Darius Freeman.
Exactly did his job. Drove that run in first time for him. I mean, just a great swing. Put it deep enough into left field. Wilson kind of had a bad jump off the catch, so Little realized that, easily scoring. Now 11-6, back to that 5-run lead, but they're not done. 1 out, looking to continue to get after it.
37th RBI for Darius Freeman. As both runners are off, stealing back, pick goes to second, and they get him. Truman Bodenhausen caught stealing. Heads up play and a heads up throw by Porchow.
Just what a throw by Porchow. I know it's a risky throw, but he realized that Bodenhausen was trying to just get that end cap steal. You know, they're not really looking to throw down. Bodenhausen not really on his horse. And Porchow took advantage of that, getting a big second out. A great throw down.
It's not a planned double steal. Bodenhausen had to react to Belton. Just that slight, you know, not getting a great jump cost Bodenhausen. And not only a heads up play by Porchow to throw it, heads up play by Nicholson to cover second, and no to cover second. Just the second time Bodenhausen's been caught stealing all year. And it's Belton's 4th stolen base. Trevor McCollum's 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. And he's in the driver's seat of this out-of-control 18-wheeler that has erupted from the first base home dugout. Had 3-1 against Bunnell. Off the end of the bat, grounded to Lateo. And retires McCollum on the ground out. But the Mustangs get a run back on the sac fly by Darius Freeman. They leave one stranded. Headed to the 8th. Mustangs still lead by 6 at 11-5. Michael and Franca takes over for Sam Pitts, who was fantastic out of the bullpen. 4 innings pitched, 2 runs, just one of those was earned on 2 hits. And 1 strikeout, did walk 3 and hit a batter. But he got out of some big jams, and now he turns the ball over to another lefty. Michael and Franca, 3rd straight lefty that the A's will be seeing, making his 9th appearance. He's 3-0, 3.38 ERA, 10 2/3 innings. Opponent's just hitting 238, and he has a big cushion to work with.
He really does, and Franca at that 3-0 record, he definitely knows how to get the job done right now, and this is a good spot to do it. Up 5 runs, you got that 5-run cushion once again. Lefty-lefty matchup right out of the bullpen. The A's is a good time to attack, but I want to see Franca put some zeros on the board.
It's Joey Caruso jammed. Coy comes in and he makes a dive. The rare infield dive. And Chris Coy retires Caruso on 1 pitch.
You know, just got Caruso jammed on the inside half. And just Coy staying on the tiptoes of his feet. Made a great jump towards the ball. And even if he has to go full extension in the infield, does what he has to do to get the out. Beautiful first out for the Stangs.
Now the catcher, Clayton Porchow, 0 for 2 with an RBI. Franca getting the all-important leadoff out here in the 8th. A's down to their final 5 outs. Do they have a comeback in them? We saw it back on July the 5th. They were down 7-0. Again off the hands, ground to the right side. Felix over. And it's 3 pitches, 2 outs for Michael and Franca.
Just trying to get it done quick. Exactly what you want if you're Coach Mack and Coach Coy right now out of Franca. You're not looking for anything spectacular. You're not looking for a strikeout machine. You're looking for a guy to get those quick outs. And loved what I've seen from him so far this season, and love it what I've seen so far here in the 8th.
Now Colin Mateo, 1 for 3 with an RBI. It's been quiet tonight. Definitely puts a smile on the Mustangs dugout's faces after quite the night he had last time the A's were in town. Franca from Texas A&M Corpus Christi University. He's had some ups, had some downs, but definitely more ups. And he's one of the plethora of high leverage left-handed arms that Johnny Coy has at his disposal. Talked about the offense, who are going to be the 9 guys to fill the lineup once playoffs come around next week, but it's also a question of who's going to get the ball. You know, all these guys want the ball in their hands on the mound. But there's only 9 innings. And guys don't just have to pitch 1.
I mean, it's stacked. All the guys they have predominantly have a trait to them that can come into ball games and win it in their own way. And that's exactly what you want out of a bullpen.
Flips the corner for strike 1. And, you know, and Frankie, he's all serious when he gets on that mound, but him and Jace Johnson do provide the batting practice tunes.
Yes, they do.
For the Mustangs, so they do provide the music. They get the Mustangs amped up during batting practice. Lenteo works the 2-out walk.
Yeah, and Franca, you know, he's just, I mean, you know it. I mean, he's just a nice guy in general. If you go up and talk to him, he's always had a smile on his face and very chill and relaxed. But, yeah, on that mound, I mean, 2 quick outs. Giving up the walk isn't the worst thing. Looking to see if he can get that 3rd out. But, yeah, and Franca's one of my favorites on the team so far this season to be able to talk to. Just a very open guy.
Back to the top, Lath Holiday. Squibber up the first base line. Barely goes foul. Little was hoping that one would squib back fair. As Holiday was way out in front. He's 0 for 3, but has scored 2 runs. Definitely not the repeat performance yesterday when he was 3 for 5 with 3 runs and 3 stolen bases and an RBI against the Mustangs. Is Franca able to shake off the walk and has Holiday down 0-2. The 0-2 home. Upstairs. Mateo moves up to second on the defensive indifference. Mateo's run doesn't really matter at second base in a 5-run game. One-two line right back in. Franca off his glove, and no chance to get the speedy Holiday. It was almost a scary situation, then almost an exciting situation, and instead it's just a moot point. As now runners are really at the corners with 2 outs.
Whew, Holiday put it right back up the middle towards Franca. Almost got the out, but I mean, right there in that situation, he's just trying to protect himself. And, you know, we saw today the Royal Seth Lugo made a play like that. Can't do the same thing here on the mound. But a 2-out base hit, runner on just 90 feet away, looking for the A's to get another run.
Now Michael Nicholson off the hands, lined into left. And there will be a run as Nicholson with his 3rd hit of the evening drives in his first.
And right there after the base hit from Holiday, Nicholson was just looking to get after him early. Found a pitch he liked, drove it into left field on a beautiful swing. Can't ask for too much. Brings it back to a 4-run lead with 2 outs. A's looking to get a little 2-out rally going on.
After getting 2 outs on 3 pitches, it's now been walk, single. Brings up Drake Cobb, who, if he can run into one, can cut this lead to 1. Cobb 0 for 2, but he's drawn back-to-back walks and back-to-back plate appearances. Now he's ahead of Franca, 2 balls, no strikes. I get trying to pitch around Cobb, but if you walk him, that would bring the tying run to the plate. Now 3-0.
I mean, right here, if you're in Franca, again, walking Cobb, not the worst thing. Again, you just don't want to give him anything down the middle to hit, because I know he just wants, if he sees something, he's going to swing.
Cobb does not have the green light, and he takes one. For strike 1 as Lath Holiday steals 3rd. He thought it was ball 4, and then he just kept on going. Cobb still very much in control. And he's still the most dangerous hitter in the MINK. 3-1. Down and away, ball 4. So now the bases are loaded. And it brings the tying run to the plate in the form of Kane Wilson.
I mean, that's a dangerous spot right now. And Franca looked really solid. 2 quick outs. Now the base is loaded. The game of baseball flips around so easily, but he still has 2 outs. He just has to work on Wilson. Don't even worry about anyone that's on base. Coach Mack is going to probably go out there and talk about, don't even worry about the guys behind you. Focus on Wilson. Focus on just him. He's only so far 0 for 3 on his day. Hasn't done too much. Has came around to score on the hit by pitch in the 2nd. But right now, you got 2 outs. Just worry about Wilson at the dish.
And Franca got Joey Caruso to line out to Chris Coy, and then Clayton Porcio to ground out to Dom Felix. But then the 9-hole Colin Lateo worked to walk. Lath Holiday lined one off the glove of Franca. Micah Nicholson, RBI single to left, and then Drake Cobb working the walk. And it brings up the cleanup man, Kane Wilson. 32 RBIs. And has the chance with 1 swing to tie this game up. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Does have an RBI and a run scored.
Good first pitch strike there, trying to get the count worked in his favor for Franca early on. Just that 1 strike, trying to get ahead on Wilson, make him go at Franca.
Grounded off the mound right to Coy. He'll go the short way to Felix to get Franca out of the inning. Only 1 comes across on the RBI single by Nicholson. Clarinda can just manage the lone run. Back to 4 is the lead for the Mustangs. Headed to the bottom of the 8th. 11-7 Stangs. The Braden Lukehart in the home half of the 8th. Clarinda got one back in the top half, but stranded the bases loaded. 3-4-5 for the Stangs, looking to add on some more.
Up 4, look good, but some insurance would be nice. Just trying to make it a way to make sure that in that 9th inning, it's nothing but comfort. Now Lukehart to lead it off. Have done it the last 3 innings, so we're looking to see if the Mustangs can do this. Once again, just get that leadoff runner on.
Jack Manel back out. Command has eluded him, but he's only given up 1 run in an inning and a third so far. He had the bases loaded and nobody outs last inning, but after a sac fly, it was a caught stealing and then a ground out that got him out of his. That one chopped to the right side. Easy play for Nicholson to retire Lukehart.
Just got on top of the pitch. It was a good chopper, and it honestly gave enough Lukehart some time to get over to first. He was on his horse. Just an easy out for the A's. 1 out now on the board, looking to just do some damage. Right now it's Felix. Seeing if he can get a barrel on it. He's been wanting one all night.
Felix had the clutch 2-run single back in the 5th that tied the game at 5-5 before the Mustangs exploded for 5 in the 6th. Now he pops one up. Back behind home. Porcio throws the mask and makes the grab.
2 quick outs here for Benella and the A's, and looking to make it a quick one. But up 4 runs, like I said, the Mustangs don't necessarily need anything here to go into the 9th with a comfortable spot, but 4 runs can be tied up with just 1 swing next inning in the 9th. So if this is the 3rd out, you're just looking to be doors, doors, doors next inning.
Easton Philippi digs in with 2 outs. See if there's any 2-out magic here in the bottom of the 8th. Philippi's 2 for 4, 2 RBIs. Philippi's 2-run single off Dylan McIntyre was the nail in the coffin for him. Now it's his first time facing Bunnell. Philippi had 3-1, ball in the dirt. Bunnell has walked 3 guys since coming into the game with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Looking to avoid the 2-out walk. But he can't avoid it. Walk number 4 issued by Bunnell. First time Philippe's drawn a walk here tonight.
Nice job by Philippe, 3-1. Just saw the outside pitch, and he knew it, but by out of the hands, it wasn't going to clip the zone. Bit of a slow reaction to go over to first, but now brings up Coy to extend a 2-out inning here in the bottom of the 8th.
As Chris Coy digs in. He's 1 for 3 with a walk. Hasn't driven in a run, hasn't scored a run. See if there's a 2-out magic. That one way over the head of Coy. Easily able to move up to second base is Phillippe on the wild pitch.
And there you go, another free pass for the Mustangs. Another runner in scoring position goes Phillippe. He's got the speed. Coy, he could just lace something up in the outfield. Maybe another insurance run. Wasn't expected, but looking to see here what the Mustangs can draw up out of this.
Grounded back up the middle. Nicholson over behind second. Throws out Coy, and nothing comes of the 2-out walk to Phillippe. Headed to the 9th here on a Friday night. A's down to their final 3 outs. Do they have anything left in them? We'll have to see. Mustangs still lead 11-7 as you're watching St. Joseph Mustangs baseball here on YouTube. Jace Johnson making his 19th appearance of the season. Gets the ball handed to him here in the 9th, and he has been the Mustangs' best arm out of the bullpen. 19 2/3 innings. He's recorded 3 saves. Opponents just hitting 132 and 34 strikeouts in those 19 2/3 innings. And there's a guy to come in, slam the door on your rivals. It's this guy.
It really is. Still below 1 ERA. Through his 19 appearances, 3 saves. I mean, this guy just gets it done. Only 7 walks to those 34 strikeouts. This guy just completely dominates the Mink year in and year out. Snubbed last year from an all-first team, and I'm thinking, you know, he's got to get it this year the way he's been performing. And now on the number 2 team in the Mink, I mean, this would just be a big win. I know it doesn't really matter playoff-wise, doesn't matter standings-wise, but this is just definitely a big I got you because we can type of win for the Mustangs tonight if he can get it done.
After tonight, they got one final home game. Tomorrow night against the Renegades closes out the home regular season for your Mustangs. For the playoffs start next Tuesday, the divisional round. And if the Mustangs win, on to the best-of-3 MINK League Championship and ever so closer to MINK League Championship number 10. 5-6-7 for the A's. Down to their final 3 outs. Cooper Knight, 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Johnson starts him off with a pitch of the knees for strike one. Johnson's so tough because both his fastball, looks like a cutter, and his slider, they both look the same out of the hand. One just breaks farther than the other. That one ran too far inside. It's a hit by pitch for Cooper Knight.
That's one you're just going to have to shake off if you're Johnson. That he wanted to go an inside fastball once again, but it just missed the release point. He went too far over off the shoulder side of his arm. So a quick base runner for the A's trying to climb back. They're down 4 runs. It's definitely doable. You can never count the A's out. Back on the 5th, they came back. Just never took the lead, but you just can't count them out. But Johnson got that first pitch strike. Would like to see the same thing on Homelar.
Tavon Homelar, one of the biggest outs that Sam Pitts got. He flied out with 2 runners on in scoring position back in the 7th. He's 1 for 4 tonight. Drove in a run with a single back in the 2nd. Johnson quickly ahead, 0-2. This is not the spot you want to be if you're Homelar. Down 0-2 to the best relief pitcher in the MINK. Doesn't chase the slider outside for ball 1. Had to probably think that pitch was coming. Set up pitch from
Right.
Johnson. Now he goes to his put-out pitch. Off the end of the bat, Little calls off Johnson. He'll just go to first. For out number 1, Knight moves up to second.
Beautiful. I like the pitch. Kept it outside. Homelar just couldn't do too much with it. Just had to get a barrel on it. Little squibber. It does move up the runner into scoring position, but with the out, would love to see a punch out here from Johnson to get that second out comfortably.
Now Joey Caruso, 1 for 4. Lined out to Chris Coy, his last time up in the 8th. First pitch upstairs for a ball. These two teams will be on opposite sides of the bracket. So unfortunately, they won't meet until the MINK League Championship if they both make it that far. Now 2-0.
Would love to see a rematch of last year's MINK League Championship. These two teams definitely have what it takes to make it.
Two 2-0. Swung over the top, 2-1. Two-one is inside now. 3-1 is Johnson's command. Not the sharpest to start this outing. Outing number 19, most on the Mustangs, most in the MINK. He is gunning for an all-MINK first-team selection. Now blooped, left field, in comes Belton, and he'll lay out to make the grab. Carter Belton got a fantastic jump, and now the A's are down to their final out.
This outfield continues to make those plays. A weak hit ball into left field. Belton had to be on his horse. And these outfielders, their first step is always to the ball. It is great how they react so quickly. And Belton with the jump, full extension once again. 2 outs, Mustangs sitting comfortable.
1 out away. The last hope for Clarinda is Clayton Porschow. And first pitch, grounded a little. He'll flip to Johnson, and there it is. Jace Johnson closes the door on the Clarinda A's and closes out win number 33 for your Mustangs. Saddle up, Mustangs Nation. Your Mustangs win the season series over the Clarinda A's 4-2 and get their 27th win in the MINK, and will look to finish off the home regular season schedule tomorrow night against Jeff City.
It's going to be a fun one, Truman. Jeff City, that final game of the regular season. We might see some players play some positions we haven't seen them play, maybe get some pitchers who haven't gone, be able to come out of the starter, maybe get them through the bullpen. So who knows what the Mustangs will do tomorrow. It's definitely going to be just another game to watch out for those little things. Tonight against Clarinda, obviously you're going to want to play your best because this is good practice for those playoff-like scenarios if you see them down the line in the championship round. But with the first round knocked off, with another win against the A's, they take the series against them against Jeff City. Honestly, what Andrew Clark told me today, they're just saying how much can we shake up the Mink with these 2 wins with those guys who are still looking for those higher-ranked spots within the playoffs. So it's definitely going to be interesting tomorrow to see what the boys bring.
One last home game here at Phil Welch before the playoffs. But here tonight, player of the game, Sam Pitts. Fantastic out of the bullpen. 4 innings, 2 runs, only 1 earned. And he'll get credited with the win. Dylan McIntyre takes the loss. McIntyre now falls to 0-2. Pitts moves to 3-0. And it was yet another comeback victory for the boys. They found themselves down 4 runs, 4-0 and 5-1 twice. But it was 9 unanswered runs in the 5th and 6th innings that spurred them to victory. And Jackson, come back home, safety confines of Phil Welch. 15th time the Mustangs put up 10-plus runs, and it's another Mustangs winner here at Phil Welch.
Another Mustangs win, Truman, like you said it best. Right now, the Mustangs look good. Another 10-run-plus victory, looking to do some damage against Jeff City, another win against them. But guess what? The eyes are set to Tuesday. Right now, it's about looking at that playoffs, taking tomorrow as a day to get those reps. It's all about the reps, seeing those pitches. Once again, it's just another day to go out to the ballpark, have some fun, but also work on those meticulous things that you're noticing. But then Tuesday comes around, and it's all game faces. It's all locked in from there on out. And then, sadly to say, but the season's coming to an end closer than we thought. We got one more regular season game tomorrow, Truman. It's going to be a fun one to call with you. And then the playoffs. Man, it's good times to be out here, Mustangs fans here at Phil Welch.
Well, that'll do it for my partner here tonight, Jackson Phelps. I've been Truman Griesel, saying so long from Phil Welch. Your Mustangs win 11-7. All Mustangs live streams are archived on YouTube.com or the YouTube app under the St. Joseph Mustangs page. A lot of other content out there. Filling Time with Phil Welch podcast, Andrew Clark player vlogs, Kai Turner player vlogs, Mic'd Up Mustangs player vlogs, Reading with Rally. Daily game highlights and the live streams are all under the live tab, or you go to playlists under Mustangs 2020.